and the things that you see. Existence in the world for the words that you speak. If I ever rule the earth, there are things I would teach. Live a life to the fullest for the strongest, not the weak. Cause I'm a rise, skate, skip and slide. Where, nigga? Nigga to the other side. Where them niggas lay they head at. I've been waiting so long, gotta get my payback. And I bang that. Niggas talking all that shit, but I hold your tongue. All that dissing niggas doing, niggas time gon' come. So hold your gun, nigga. For that ass get popped, and we gon' double back, nigga. If your heart don't stop, get toe back. I can't feel that pain. It was capping in them songs, you didn't feel that way. Starting shit you can't handle, nigga. Now your family outside, lighting candles, nigga. Yeah, watch what you say, and the things that you see. Existence in the world from the words that you speak. If I ever rule the earth, there are things I would teach. Live a life to the fullest for the strongest, not the weak. Gotta watch what you say, and the things that you see. Existence in the world from the words that you speak. If I ever rule the earth, there are things I would teach. Live a life to the fullest for the strongest, not the weak. Let the niggas try, bust the minds in broad daytime. Niggas mama cry, cause he died up on the main line. Remember young G, I'ma die like a soldier. Stay away from all the leeches and what your mama told you. These bullets snatch your souls after dark like a thief. We found this location like a cheater when we creep. But hold your eyes open, don't turn to dust up in the dark. Can't see who the shooter from the smoke when it sparks. Can't blame nobody, cause your ass cause it all. Now death takes its course when Satan starts to call. But that tough niggas speaking, get bitch niggas hurt. You wanted all the drama, now your ass up in the dirt. Gotta watch what you say, and the things that you see. Existence in the world for the words that you speak. If I ever rule the earth, there are things I would teach. Live a life to the fullest for the strongest, not the weak. Gotta watch what you say, and the things that you see. Existence in the world for the words that you speak. If I ever rule the earth, there are things I would teach. Live a life to the fullest for the strongest, not the weak. Not the weak.
All right, so welcome to the live stream. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We got two things that we're going to talk about today. First, UFC Mexico. Then we're going to get to Adam22. Michael says, Jesus is Lord. Well, Jesus is an important prophet of ours, but we're not going to get into that. He's not the Almighty. Okay, the Almighty is the Almighty, but prophets are prophets. We're going to get to that. And just like gangsters are gangsters, and just like Adam22 is Adam22, and just like UFC Mexico is at high elevation, and it's always going to affect the fighters that are involved. So let's get to that. John 14:6. Now, what exactly is that? Do you know, is that a verse in the Bible? Let me look up what John 14:6 is. James White, James WT. John 14:6. A verse, yes. I'm going to look it up. Jesus is King of the Lords, Alpha and the Omega, he says. Okay, so it states in John 14:6, I am the truth, the way, the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Okay, so very interesting. Okay, so we're not here to have a religious debate. Obviously, if you would like to have a religious debate, we could absolutely do that at my members only stream. By the way, don't forget to lock in to my members stream, which by the way is at a very low price, but we got a few people that are in there right now. Very affordable. I have an Islam and MMA portion, which I do talk about religion in that regard, something that you guys can take a look at beyond MMA. Andrew Yan says, yo, Jesus is the person just like you and me. Correct, Kenny Joaquin. Milo says, is a beard without a mustache an Islamic thing? Yes, it is. I'm glad that you asked that, right? Because that is a very common question. Wow, these comments are coming in here really fast. It's a good problem to have. Didn't you vote for Trump? One Love says. Well, here's the thing, right? Just because I like Trump's personality doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to agree with everything that he does. Obviously, there's a lot of things that we could get into about the pros and cons that he did. For example, there's many things. There's many things that we can get into about that, but obviously I don't want to steer off track with the main topic at hand. Moreno is a lock. Andrew Nance says, why do Muslims remove the mustache? Okay, so let me get to that, right? The reason why is because our prophet, peace be upon him, had said that in order to separate ourselves from everybody else, we have to have the no mustache. So if I see somebody in Dagestan, in Saudi, and this and that, those are usually going to be the indicators that, hey, you know what, this guy is Muslim. So obviously the Dagestanis are very much a proponent of that particular style. So James W. says, I have read the Quran. Okay, that's very good. No, we shouldn't worship Jesus, and we should learn from him. It's a difference. Okay, so that's a very good point there, Mr. Kenny Joaquin. That's a very good point. Seth says, is this a Muslim channel? Well, it's a MMA channel that's ran by a Muslim, which is yours truly. So in a way, it is and it isn't, meaning that I'm inclusive with anybody that wants to come here and talk about MMA. And James W. here, T says, we need to worship Jesus. Well, again, you know, that's a difference of ideology that we have in terms of interpretation. But yes, Milo says, I'm 27. Is it too late for me to learn MMA? Well, Milo, it depends what your background is. You see, when you look at Randy Couture, he came into MMA at a very late stage in his life. However, Randy Couture had experience boxing in the Army. He also had experience wrestling. So it depends what your background is and how it can translate to the best possible option. And also, what are your goals going into MMA starting very late at 27, right? Is your goal, let's say, to just get one fight or to just gain fighting experience? Or is it just to, you know, say that you got in there? For me, the reason why I got into it was because obviously, like everybody else, I wanted to be the best at it. But at the same time, you know, when you get older and there's more responsibilities in life, then you're sort of satisfied with what you did. So now here I am with an MMA channel. I compete with I am a complete novice with no fighting experience. Okay, so that's very good. You have to be realistic with what you're going to do and things of that nature. So Joaquin here says, James WT, people fear what they don't understand. Jesus is an example of what every human being should be and shouldn't be worshipped him like he's a god. And then Michael says, once you learn who Jesus is, worship. Okay, so basically you guys are having a bit of this is good. Okay, this is something that I will welcome into my channel, is obviously a very open discussion towards different things. Motion says, hi, how are you? How are you guys? Wow. I got to tell you, for a new up-and-coming channel that I have right now, obviously, this is one of these situations where it's a good problem to have. I'm having a whole lot more people respond now, so this is good. Adrian says here, with the last name that has Russian letters on it, I have wrestling. What do you think about I am starring MMA? Well, I tell you what, you being a Russian gentleman and having a wrestling background, I think you'll do very well in MMA, in my opinion. Gonzalez says, hi. You seem like an honest, nice guy. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. You know, just don't get in my bad side. That's one thing about me, is that, yeah, I can be a very nice guy, but if you get in my bad side, I'm going to show you everything that is wrong with this world in more ways than one. So, yes, you know, but I am a nice guy. You know, if we keep it honest, we keep it respectful and things of that nature. James here says, read John 4:16, Timothy, the book. Motive01 says, I will give you $50 if you say black man in a Jackson way. Oh, okay. Like a Samuel L. Jackson way. So you'll really give me $50 right here on the spot on my Cash App if you say a black man like Jackson, Samuel L. Jackson. That's what we do as a black man. Yeah. All right. So, yes, I will give you $50 if you say in a Michael Jackson way. Well, okay, I don't really know how to imitate Michael Jackson's voice. Yeah, you know, yeah, I don't know about you, but you know, I'm a black man, even though I'm bleached up and all that. I don't know, man. I don't know if that's a good Michael Jackson impression. I know that he has a very squeaky voice and whatnot. So I am going to sub even if we disagree religiously. My new Muslim friend, well, thank you, James W. And you know what? That's what this is all about, right? Being able to have a discussion. And anytime that I have a live going on, you are more than welcome to, have these discussions. Motive says, I was just kidding. All right, no problem. But what at least you could do with me doing that is at least you could come join my member stream. I have some very controversial takes in that particular matter. John G says, okay, well, you know what? That right there, you're going to be put on timeout for this one. Sorry, maybe for like 10 minutes or so, you're going to be put on timeout. So there you go. All right. So John G debates. Yes. By John. Okay, if you know how corrupted the world is, then why do you know Jesus is Lord and He is your Savior? No, I believe that God is a breath, as the Bible, as it says, Kenny. Okay, so Gonzalez says, I subbed. Okay, thank you very much for that. Is this a religious stream? No, it is not. It is basically, well, I mean, religious in what way do you mean? Like, do we talk about religion? Sure. But it is an MMA stream. Not only that, we're also going to talk about Adam22 and the recent FBI raid that he had going on. And if you guys stay longer, I will give you a story about my experience with the alphabets, okay, if you know what I mean. And when I mean alphabets, I don't just mean Asian Boy Crip or ABC or anything like that. I'm talking about the other alphabets. But yeah, please stay tuned. We're going to talk more about that as we go over UFC Mexico. So obviously, this card right here is very interesting, a little bit lackluster in my opinion. But what do you expect, right? A lot of these cards that they're putting up, it's sort of made to give a lot of these fighters a different chance, right? Now, I know that a lot of people are complaining that these fights are hyper saturated, which is okay. Hit the likes for the homie. Yes, thank you, Andrew Nance. Who was there writing the Bible when God was doing his thing? It's conspiracy, James WT. Okay, so very good, very good. Keep that energy going in the chats. Keep that debate going. I absolutely encourage these debates. Most content creators out there, they would absolutely dread at having these types of debates. A lot of guys out there don't like having religious debates. They say that some of the things that you should never do in like what I believe is barbershop or in a workplace is talk about politics and religion. Well, guess what? Here you're free to do that because it is your right as an American citizen. Well, at least I'm an American citizen. I don't know what part of the world you guys are from, but whatever part of the world you're at right now, write on the comment section below. Let me know what part of the world you are. Adrian Bonks, with a Russian name, says, I have a good wrestling skills. I started when I was 14. My striking is very bad. So you think it's going to work out? Well, I tell you what, man. Kenny Alexander, the former grappling coach of Team Alpha Male, a guy that I had recently trained with, that I had previously trained with in Team Alpha Male, he said that it is better to start out MMA with wrestling rather than starting out MMA with striking, and because it's just a great base for it, right? I mean, you look at the success rates of wrestlers in mixed martial arts. Obviously, Bo Nickel comes to mind in the recent times. You have Khabib, obviously, DC, the list goes on, Brock Lesnar, and how about Cain Velasquez? James W. says, I am American from Colorado. That's what's up. I'm American as well. No, Kenny Min wrote the... Okay, so we... Andrew Nance says, do you smoke the ganja? Well, if you lived in California, who hasn't, right? So then Michael says here, Lord Jesus asked to give everyone knowledge and let them know the truth, the proof, and you are our Lord and Savior, and I love you, and I love all my brothers and sisters. Amen. You know what? Here's the thing that I will say about Christians that I think is very, very interesting, right? And I think there's a lot of Muslims that are like this too, right? They are very genuine in wanting to share their beliefs with you. And I think as Muslims, we are sort of in that same category where we want what is best for our fellow man, and that is why we do dawah missions. And if you don't know what dawah is, it's basically Islamic evangelical work. Night and Day says, who do you think is the hardest hitter in the UFC? Ooh, that's a good question. Who is the hardest hitter in the UFC right now? Pound for pound, I would probably say Ilia Topuria is probably the hardest hitter right now. Alex Pereira comes to mind. Although we have seen holes in Alex Pereira's game, and I think that is a consummate strategy that Ankalaev has sort of put together in order to set up a blueprint and how to handle him. Michael says, see you later, brother. My brother James, see you later. Thank you for tapping in, Michael, and greatly appreciated. And to everyone around the world that is tapping in, let us talk about UFC Mexico right now. So, what do you guys think about the first fight of the card? You got Austin Hubbard taking on Markel Medeiros. I have to go back to work. Peace, and Jesus is Lord is one. Okay, thank you so much. I hope you have a great day at work. And you know what? While you're at work, please don't mind putting on some headphones while listening to me while you guys are either in traffic, while you're at work, or this and that. Because, hey, this is my work, and this is what I do, and I would be glad to join you in whatever it is that you're doing throughout your day. Maybe you're out hiking, maybe you're out and about in the gym, or you're working out, or this and that. I'd like to share that day with you, and I would like to make that day a whole lot quicker while I sit here and yap about MMA and all the other gangster stuff that is going on around the world. So, Night and Day says, do you think Topuria is ever fighting Oliveira? Well, it's very interesting that Oliveira does not want to fight Topuria, simply because he says the only way that he's going to fight him is for the belt. And I understand where he's at. I know that a lot of people are saying that, hey, you know what, maybe you're just scared of this guy or this and that. I don't think that's the case. I think that when you get to a certain level, when you're already beating everybody, it's not so much that you're scared of anybody. It's more like, what kind of legacy am I going to build? Now, if I go and fight this guy, a guy who I already fought, what would be worth of that, right? Just like the Islam Makhachev and the Arman Tsarukyan fight. I understand that Arman Tsarukyan has already fought Islam Makhachev and has lost to Islam Makhachev, but he's earned his way back to getting that title shot. That I understand. However, we've seen that fight already, and as an Islam Makhachev supporter, if you can't tell by my beard that I'm an Islam Makhachev supporter, that I support all the Muslim fighters and this and that, that I would rather see him build his resume with a new name. Now, here's the problem with fighting Ilia Topuria. Fighting Ilia Topuria will stain his legacy in a way where, you know what, he has to go and fight another 145er moving up to 155 when you have all these other killers that are at 155. But the other problem with that is the simple fact that, hey, there's just way too many 155ers that are gatekeeping. Now look at Justin Gaethje. He beat Fiziev twice. Look at Dustin Poirier. He beat BSD, right? The French guy, the French Special Forces guy. So it's like there's a lot of gatekeeping going on, and it's like names that Islam Makhachev has already fought. So what do? It's a very interesting situation in the history of mixed martial arts right now. Night and Day, I saw that you redacted a message there. Please let me know what you had said or what you are going to say. I'm very curious. Okay, who do you think is the GOAT of Brazilian fighters? Hands down, Anderson Silva. Alex Pereira comes to mind. So, yeah, Alex Pereira, Anderson Silva, and who else? Fabricio Verdum, you could say that. But you know, it was a great win that he had against Fedor and whatnot. But yeah, Anderson Silva, hands down, Anderson Silva. There is nobody that could really touch Anderson Silva in that regard right now. So that's who I'm going to go with in that regard. Anderson Silva, and Anderson Silva and Alex Pereira just seems to be on the list right now. Now, why do I say that? Look at it like this, right? The reason why Anderson Silva is the man, and in that regard, the best Brazilian fighter ever. The title reign that he put on does not lie. The schedule and the strength of schedule that he had going on doesn't lie. But also, Alex Pereira, the same thing. How many cards has Alex Pereira saved all throughout this year and last year, right? Many of them were Conor McGregor cards that he was supposed to be in, only for him and Michael Chandler to sort of cancel. Izzy Delgado says, hey, Kyrie, well, you excited for WWE Wrestlemania 41 Night 1 Saturday? My dad's name is Brandon, is coming to my house to sleep over my mom's room upstairs. My dad name, I'm trying to understand what you mean by that. Please elaborate more on that. There's a lot of run-on sentences with what you're saying there, not a lot of periods, not a lot of commas or anything like that. So it's very hard to make out exactly what you mean and the intention behind what you're saying. So please kindly rewrite what you're saying. Let me know what you're saying and elaborate on what you're saying so I can best fit answer your question to the best of my knowledge in whatever that may be. But when it comes to WrestleMania, man, I'm very excited for it. Adrian, the Russian, asks, what do you think about Alexander Karelin? Let me tell you, Alexander Karela is one of the greatest amateur wrestlers of all time, right? Very scary individual. In fact, I think that if he was in his prime today, he would give problems to the likes of Jon Jones and anybody that's in the 205 division, Ankalaev and Alex Pereira included. Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones. Who do you got? This is a very good question. I know it's a cliche question in MMA right now, but you may not like what I have to say about this because I'm going to say Jon Jones. And you're probably thinking, well, maybe it's biasness on my part because I represent American mixed martial arts and Jon Jones is the absolute epitome of American mixed martial arts and its excellence, right? Now, with that in mind, there's a reason why I favor that particular style of MMA because it's a complete style. Jon has the spinning back kicks. He has the wrestling. Although Tom has very good footwork, I think that the wrestling of Jon Jones is going to offset Tom Aspinall. WWE is GAY or no? Well, it depends on your taste. You know what? I haven't watched WWE in a while. I did hear that John Cena became a bad guy. So, yeah, man, I was sort of interested to see what this storyline was going to unfold with John Cena being being a bad guy. It's sort of like Hulk Hogan-esque where he became the NWO leader, right? Sort of changed his whole paradigm in his career. Okay, so Delgado elaborates here. My dad is Brandon, is coming to my house to watch WWE Wrestlemania with us. My mom's room upstairs. Okay, so you guys are all going to watch WWE in upstairs. Okay, so I think that's what you mean. I think he is far better than Islam. Who is far better than Islam? Are you talking about Ilya Topora or are you talking about Armin Sarukian? Let me know who you are referring to, Adrian. 16-bit word says, true. Plus, they wear Speedos and oil themselves. Their tan, beautiful glycerin muscles makes me sick and definitely not. Ooh, okay. Do you think Islam versus Topuria is happening soon? I have a video about that, and where I titled in the video, I literally wrote that there is no there's no other options left, right? As he says, Las Vegas City this year, WWE WrestleMania 41. Okay, so that's awesome, man. Yeah, it is in Las Vegas. That's interesting. Usually they have it in different marquee cities, but being in Las Vegas, now that's interesting because it's a fight town, and obviously I may not look at WWE as like a legitimate fighting sport. I mean, who really does if you're a real hardcore fan, right? Or if you're a real mixed martial artist to any degree, you wouldn't give that same respect. But on any regard, it is interesting that they are going to hold it in Las Vegas. Night and Day says, I am leaving now. Peace. Thank you for tapping in. Please don't forget to also like and subscribe, share. But also, please check out all my videos. The latest one that I have with Leon Edwards being dissed by Kamaru Usman's latest performance, saying that his win against him was magic and that he had some holes in his game. So now Adrian says, no, I mean, if Karelin is here, he will be far better than Khabib and Islam. Okay, there's an argument to that, considering that, yes, he is a heavyweight, and Islam Makhachev and Khabib, at best, are welterweights all the way down to lightweights as you're cutting, but Alexander Carello was definitely a special athlete. I think that there's an asterisk also that we have to take into consideration with Alexander Carello, which is this. The fact that this guy was a Russian experiment in terms of the steroids that he had been using. Kyrie Abu, you have TV on Peacock, yes or no? Okay, so I'm assuming that WWE is going to be on Peacock or Netflix. I have both, but if it's on either one, then I think that I will be able to watch that. So, bro, who has the thing to be three-time champ in the UFC? That's a good question. Right now, so obviously Alex Pereira would have been that possibility, but he obviously was the only one that could have had that possibility. Islam Makhachev, let's analyze this, right? Could he win 170? He absolutely can. Let's say if Bilal Muhammad loses to JDM, because I don't see Bilal Muhammad losing to JDM whatsoever. Bilal Muhammad is going to wrestle him that whole entire fight. He's going to hold him down, and I would be even more surprised if he could submit him, which is a great possibility, by the way. With that in mind, okay, yes, I think that let's say if it was JDM, he'll go up there and avenge the loss for Bilal Muhammad. What about after that? Let's say, what if Khamzat Chimaev doesn't win against DDP? And let's say Islam Makhachev goes up to 185. So right now, the closest guy that has the opportunity to do that is Islam Makhachev. So yeah, that's the only guy that I could see being a three-time UFC different weight champion. Hey, Kyrie Abu El-Kheer will win at WrestleMania 41 one Saturday night, Roman Reigns or CM Punk or Seth Rollins. Now, from what I understand, is that going to be a triple threat match? Now, please forgive me. I haven't been keeping up with wrestling. Only when John Cena came back to being a bad guy, I was really curious about that. So, I'm going to say Roman Reigns, because obviously Roman Reigns has been the company guy for a long time now. He's very marketable. He's basically the new John Cena, the new Rock, and then The Rock is behind him all the way, so that kind of helps in that situation. Or I don't know if him and The Rock are beefing now, and again, I don't know what the storyline is unfolding right now, so you're going to have to fill me in on that on the comment section below. So, I've been to Khabib's village. Adrian says it's a good place and people almost forget about him. It's sad. Wow. Okay, so that's interesting. So tell me more about that. When you say that you've been in Khabib's village and people forget about him, what does that mean? Is it because, like, no one really mentions him? I think I may have an answer to that. Delgado says, we want OTC Roman Reigns. Okay, so going back to Adrian, right? I think what you mean, or what you're interpreting from what you're seeing, is this. I think what Khabib has going on in his village right now is, I mean, look, you got to understand, this is a Muslim territory of Dagestan, right? If there's one thing that you got to understand about Muslims, is that we're not infatuated by celebrity culture in any kind of way, like all these other weirdos around the world. I mean, not to say that anybody is a weirdo here if you're into celebrity culture, but it's just not the thing that we do. We don't worship celebrities in any kind of way. And guess what? Here's another place that doesn't worship celebrity culture, which sort of correlates to Adam22, which is part of the story of this live stream, is California gang culture. I swear to you, California gang culture has no love for celebrities, and that is why Big U guy, the Rolling 60s Crip leader, was indicted and basically investigated by the feds because he went and extorted Shaquille O'Neal. He extorted Nipsey Hussle, which, by the way, a guy who comes from his neighborhood and from his gang, they extorted Oscar De La Hoya. I mean, look, this is the legacy of California gang culture, is that they have no respect for celebrity cultures, and guess what? Muslims don't either. We don't have no respect for celebrity cultures or this and that. You know, most people, when they see a celebrity, they're like, oh my God, he's a celebrity. Oh, I need to go get, you know, his autograph or this and that. Man, we're not about all that. And this is the reason why I'm on YouTube, because I'm not trying to be a fanboy of anybody. And I know this is going to sound selfish and this is going to sound insane, but I'd rather be a fan of myself. You know what I mean? Because I believe in myself. I believe in my talent. I believe in what I could do. And nobody is going to stop me from doing so. So there's that. But yeah. Hey, Kyrie El-Kheer, you remember the weekend concert tour DFM After Hours back in 2022? No, please elaborate that for me just a little bit, if you can. So yeah, which segues me into the conversation, and you guys are welcome to continue commenting, and I'm going to continue to respond to the things that you say while also talking about all these two topics that I have going on, right? So Adam22 got visited by the FBI, right? Now, what is it that they wanted with him? Well, what they wanted with him was that obviously Big U sent a cease and desist letter to No Jumper when they brought in this character named Loose Cannon, which basically implied that Big U was part of the murder or unaliving of Nipsey Hussle. So they wanted to visit him for that reason alone. And new subscriber here, I have a question for you. Okay, I tell you what, William, it's not, listen, you're allowed to say whatever you want to say here, but I have the right to not really entertain that question. I mean, to be honest with you, it's a very strange question to ask another grown man, but this is the internet. What do you expect? It's what it is, and that's what you got to do. Could you beat up Mike Hunt or Mike Roch? Mike Hunt, who exactly do you mean? Do you mean Mark Hunt or Mike Roch? Who is Mike Roch, 16-bit? Let me know who these people are. If you're referring to Mike Tyson, could I beat him up right now? Well, obviously, he's 60 years old. He's not in his athletic prime anymore. I'm 40 years old. Guys, I urge you to take a look at my workout videos that I have. Okay, I'm about to be 40 years old, and I smoke these young guys in the gym with no hesitation whatsoever. I'm more athletic than these guys. I have a higher vertical leap. I push more weights than these guys. I have more stamina than everybody, but that's what you get when you've trained with some of the best fighters in the world out here in Sacramento and elsewhere, and lived a healthy life, lived an Islamic healthy life at that. William 273 says, are you Muslim? Yes, very proud of it as well. Let me know what your denomination is, where you're from, and what your interests are. Who you be with, what numbers to dial. No. Mark Hunt is a UFC fighter. Mike Roch is... Oh, okay. Very clever there, 16-bit. Okay, a little bit of a banter there. By the way, just because I'm not going to answer inappropriate questions all the time, always remember that I don't mind a bit of a banter. You know, I have a lot of British supporters that come to my channel here, so you guys are more than welcome anytime to have a banter at your will, but also keep in mind that I have a banter of my own that I may attack you with viciously. But yeah, so the weekend concert with DWFM After Hours back in 22. Okay, I'm not really sure what that is. Just kidding with you, bro. Yeah, no problem. Back to work for me. Have a good stream. Thank you so much, 16-bit, and I hope that you do continue to listen to my stream while this is going on, because hey, it is what I do. I'm here to basically give you guys a bit of some entertainment to help your day go by smoothly in your 8-hour shift and whatever it is that you do. That's what I'm here for. This is my job. It's what I like to do, and it's what I like to provide for the world. Hey Kyra, your favorite weekend song? What's my favorite weekend song? Well, I don't really have a favorite song, but I do have this song that I like to play in when I work out. Let me play it for you right here. Respectfully, you are wrong. People talk big about Islam and Karina, Alexander Karela, and they say that he settled in Dubai. Okay, because he want a good life for his kids and family. I respect it. Common here to just don't care. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So you're saying that Alexander Karela now lives in Dubai. Okay, that makes sense. A lot of Russians live in Dubai, right? I think for a lot of Russians, it's a lot easier for them to move to Dubai than it is to the United States. I think during the Biden administration, I think that Russians were heavily discriminated because Biden was obsessed with Ukraine and whatnot. But don't get me started with that. I think you know exactly where I'm going with that. Now that Trump is in office, I think there's a little bit more of a Russian sympathy from the American government, whereas before it was obviously anti-Russian and everything else in between. So Hills from the Weekend song. Okay. So going back to Adam22, right? This is what the feds do. Whenever you're involved with somebody of interest, they're going to want to talk to you. Let me give you guys a little bit of some story that I promised I was going to give to you guys early in the stream. In 2014, here in Sacramento, Islam is not peace. Well, it certainly isn't, Himmel. If you speak bad about it, you definitely won't be living in peace if you speak bad about it. Now, look, I'm not the one that would do anything about it, but you know and I know there are people out there that would be willing to do something about it, and I'm just not the one. So you can say whatever. I don't hate Islam. Yeah, that's fine, but I'm just stating a fact, right? Like, you seen what happened when they did Quran burnings in France. How did that work out? Or when they disrespected the Prophet in the Charlie Hebdo publications. What happened? Right? Obviously, that's not something of my doing. That's not something that I wish upon anybody or anything like that. But it is what it is, and there are consequences to speech. Right? Not all speech is free. Himmel says, but the true is your brother, not all, but many of them is not peace. Okay. Yeah, people are racist. I did travel to the UK. When I speak English, the look that they gave me, like I'm a drug dealer or criminal because of my accent. Yeah. Russians are often stereotyped as gangsters and criminals, very similar to most minorities, obviously. Adrian says, why do people fight over different beliefs? I am Christian. I respect your belief, not because I share it, but because you know what? Vladimir Putin has the same mentality as you, and I found that many Russians have the same mentality when it comes to being very tolerant to Muslims. I think that, man, I'm telling you, I really love how there's a strong brotherhood amongst Russians, right? Whether they are Muslim or Christian Orthodox, there's a really strong nationalistic brotherhood amongst Russians, right? But again, different countries have different relationships. For example, in Egypt, there is a completely different relationship amongst Coptic Christians and Muslims, although there's a lot of Coptic Christians that do feel a heavy discrimination against, from Muslims. And so there's that. But I share your sentiments on that, Adrian. So, in whatever regard, man, you are, my brother as much as we are brothers together, and we are brothers of mixed martial arts, right? We have an enthusiasm for mixed martial arts, an enthusiasm for the sport, and we share that in that same regard. Isaac Delgado says, my mom's going to the store, buy stuff, and buy food called Panda. Okay, so she's buying Panda. Okay. JB Zaddy says, Moreno sub. Himmel says, I don't fight anything, but you have to admit 70% are not peace. I am Orthodox Christian. Okay, so you know what? I will address that controversial take, right? Here's the thing. Islam is not a religion of peace. I don't care what anybody tells you. Islam is a religion of submission. Okay, this idea of peace and this and that. Peace is the ultimate goal, obviously. What do they say at the end of every church service, right? May peace be upon you. What does every Muslim say to each other? May peace be upon you. After every prayer, may peace be upon you. What does every Jewish person say after each prayer? Shalom, and all that, which all means peace. So peace is the ultimate goal, but peace is not the ultimate objective. The ultimate objective is to submit to God with no ascribed other partners, and that is the quintessential ideology within the Islamic faith in terms of Tawheed, in terms of monotheism, which, by the way, in Arabic, Tawheed translates to monotheism. Hey Kyrie, you say hi to my dad. Brandon is Mexican, like me. Hey, what's up? Let me say what's up to you and your family. Buenos dias to all my Mexican supporters out there, and I hope that you all will join me in the live stream and covering UFC Mexico this coming weekend, where I'm going to be live. Matter of fact, let me see what time that particular fight starts. So that's going to be 1 p.m., the beginning time, which is West Coast time, 1 p.m. And then the main card is going to be 4 p.m., just like last week, I believe. I believe it was just like last week where that was the time trajectory. But in either way, okay, so Adrian says, because we are big about history and culture, got invaded hundreds of times by not only the Turkish people, give respect after the Turkish invasion and lived side by side. Okay, so I would assume that the reason why there's a lot of Muslims in Russia would probably be predicated on the fact that there was a Turkish invasion. So correct me if I'm wrong with that particular history as I look at the rest of the card of UFC right now. So Vince Pichel taking on Rafa Garcia. I'm going to give you my prediction on this one. I think Rafa Garcia is going to win this one. A very identical record to Vince Pichel. Vince Pichel is 42 years old in the lightweight division. Now, let me tell you, when you get older, it's not really the best solution to stay at a lower weight class, right? I think that lower weight classes are not for older people. Now, in the heavyweight division, it's a little bit different. You can be in your 40s in the heavyweight division because guess what? What is the last thing to go? And that is power, right? In fact, the older you get, for some reason, you have more power. You go to different gyms, all the guys that are like lifting all the heavy weights are like dudes that are like in their 40s or 50 years old. And maybe that's because of the fact that they are older, and being that they are older, maybe they're taking steroids or whatever, or maybe it's just old man strength. But either way, the reason why in the lightweight division it's not good to fight at an older age is because think about this, right? What age do most soccer players retire? And the reason why I'm using soccer or football as for my European audience that's watching right now, why I use that example is because most guys who are, let's say, 30 years old, 35, and this and that, this is the age where many of them retire from the sport of soccer. I have a cousin in Egypt. His name is Abdel Habib Shabana. I urge you guys to look him up. He's an Egyptian soccer star. He retired, I believe, in his early to mid 30s, right? And this is common in soccer, whereas in combat sports you can fight a little bit longer. And speaking of fighting a little bit longer, how about Yoel Romero fighting at 47? So Adrian asked, I forgot to ask what your ethnicity is. I am Arabic of North African descent. So yeah, to answer that question. So yeah, Rafa Garcia is going to win that one easily. Lupi Godinez versus Julia Palastri. I'm I'm going to go with Julia Palastri on that one. Christian Rodriguez versus Mikel Costa in the featherweight division. I'm going to go with Christian Rodriguez on that one. Jose Medina versus Atiba Gutierrez, 22 years old. Okay, at 185. This is an interesting character right here. I'm going to have to go with Atiba Gutierrez on that one. Now, CJ Verarga. Let's take a look at where CJ Verarga is in his career, okay? So, this is going to be in the flyweight division. Let's take a look at what CJ Verarga has been doing. So 2 losses in a row, right? I got to tell you, if you are a non-big name like this with 2 losses in a row, man, I'm telling you, you really got to be very careful. This is a do-or-die fight for him right here. Now, he's taking on Edgar Chariez. Edgar Chariez, let's see what streak he is in right now. He's fighting Verarga, who's coming off of 2 losses. Obviously, this man is just coming off of a loss against Joshua Van. Now, how about Joshua Van? Adrian, you take selfies in a mirror. Oh, yeah, that's not very nice of you to say, Biz. You know, what's wrong with... look, here's the thing, right? I'm a pretty decent shape guy. I train hard and this and that. Now, it's not necessarily my cup of tea to go and take selfies and this and that. But, hey, if Adrian is proud of doing that, you know, why not, Biz? You know, but, yeah. You know, let's try to keep it, well, look, I'm not going to try to control anybody's speech, but I would prefer if you guys sort of, you know, keep it nice and cordial. And then Adrian here goes back at Biz saying, Biz, you need more than that to piss me off. Okay, very good response by Adrian. Come to Australia and get KO'd. Ooh, okay, we got a fight going on right here at the chat right now. Hey, listen, I don't mind that. If you guys... I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, well, you got to go break up a fight, man. You know, it's not responsible for you to let people fight. Man, listen, this is a fight channel. People fight. Not only is this a fight channel, this is a gangster channel. So if you want to run the fade with anybody, I absolutely welcome and encourage it to the fullest degree. And, but yeah, at the same time, yeah, just try to keep it, you know, cordial. Both you little fellas. Hey, Biz, I don't know who you're talking to, man. You know, I'm the wrong tree to bark up. But, you know, keep it respectful, especially towards me, because I will put you on timeout if, you know, if you get a little disrespectful and this and that. So, but anyways, yeah, I mean, look, here's another thing, too, though. You're taking a piss at a dude that has a profile pic, that puts himself out there, that speaks with integrity, that speaks behind his name. Your name is Biz, with no profile picture. So, I mean, you know, and then you're saying, well, come to Australia and this and that. But it's like, if you want him to come to Australia to meet you, who exactly is he going to meet with no face name? I mean, look, I'm sure you got, you know, a name or a face or this and that. I just don't see it. But yeah, on any regard. Yeah, Joshua Van, he's coming off of a loss from Joshua Van by unanimous decision. That was back in September. No shame in that. Joshua Van is an up-and-coming 125er right now, right? A flyweight. Joshua Van, I think, is going to be a very formidable opponent for anybody in the near future. So be on the lookout for that guy. But yeah, this is a do-or-die for, I believe, CJ Verarga. I would love to see him pull this off, but I think Edgar Chariez is going to win this one by unanimous decision. Yap, 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 you both. And then he has the P sign. Okay, listen, you're treading a little bit there, okay? Treading a little bit. Biz Brother, I survived the Army 4 years. I respect you don't like me. Calling someone without knowing him is a bad idea. Yeah, wow. Okay, so Adrian, you are in the Army. I'm assuming that's in the Russian Army that you are in? Or what country did you serve in? I'm assuming Russia. If Russia, wow, that is absolute badass, bro. Like, I've heard so many stories about the Russian military and, you know, and their fierce reputation that sort of comes along with that. So, very interesting to say the least. But please, yeah, elaborate more on that. I would love to hear some stories on that regard while I go on and talk about more of these fights, while we also talk about the current arrest of Adam22. Well, no, not arrest, but the the FBI raid that he had. Not even an FBI raid. I think he said that they subpoenaed him, but at the same time, it's like, why would they subpoena him? So I got a lot of questions on that particular matter at hand. You ever been knocked out by a Tongan? Biz, I roll with Tongans and Samoans out here in the West Coast, right? In fact, when I first moved to Stockton, that was all that I ever rolled with was Samoans and Tongans. And by the way, there's a reason why I'm wearing blue. So if you know anything about what you know about, you should know if you know what you know. Okay, I'm going to just leave it at that, but anyways, yeah. I've never, no, I not been knocked out by a Tongan, but I have had friendly fades with them here, you know, because they're my homies, right? You know, so I've fought alongside with them, Biz. So if you're Tongan, that's great. You know, you shouldn't disrespect me in any kind of way because I roll with nothing but Tongans and Samoans out here, all Polynesians and whatnot. So, yeah, man. And I know that in Australia, there's a great relationship amongst Arabs and Polynesians as well. Where are you from, bro? California, West Side, California. So, what part of Australia are you from? So, okay, so let's write down on the comment section below as you guys are talking amongst yourselves. So, next fight coming up, Edgar Shiraz. So that is the preliminary. Where you live, man? Sacramento. I first lived in Stockton, the notorious Stockton, California. And then obviously I went to college in Sacramento and then never left since. So everybody that is tapped in right now, please don't forget to like and subscribe, but also write on the comment section below what part of the world you are from, because as an international kid myself, I have very huge interest in people from around the world and where they're from and their story. I did in the Russian army take 19th division. I got shot. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Arigay says, hey, Kyrie El-Kheer, what's up? Do you watch UFC? Who's your favorite fighter? Henny, Zubair? Well, do I watch UFC? Henny, if that isn't an understatement, I have a whole entire channel dedicated to the UFC, and if not all of it, mixed martial arts and combat sports. Who is my favorite fighter? I don't really have a favorite fighter, but I will say that I am biased towards the Muslim fighters. I'll say that. I like Khamzat. I like Islam. I like Ankalaev, obviously. Shamil Gaziev, one that is coming up in the heavyweight division right now. So, JB Zaddy says, who has the best BJJ right now? Who has the best BJJ right now? You know what? Here's the thing. A lot of people have great BJJs, right? That is a very good question. Paul Craig comes to mind. He has the best BJJ, although it doesn't always work out for him. Kevin Holland has very good BJJ. Zaddy says Shamil the Meal Gaziev. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay. What do you mean by that? Are you say is that sort of like fat shaming him because of his appearance or this and that? Sean Brady, yeah, Sean Brady also has great BJJ. I will say that he has the best BJJ in the 170 division, and it's the reason why Bilal Muhammad had to outbox him, because if he was going to go take him to the ground, man, it probably would not work out well. So let's see here. What else is next in this fight? Okay, so moving on to the main card after that Shiraz and the CJ Garza fight. Hey, my husband's name is Brandon. My son's house watched WWE Wrestlemania with us. My room. Okay. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay. So Ronaldo Rodriguez, Kevin Borjas is the next fight in the main card. You know what? Maybe I will do a watch party for WWE Wrestlemania. That's something we could definitely tap in with right there. So yeah, well, definitely something to take into consideration for sure, for sure, for sure. Okay, so let's see here. What are your thoughts on Dricus Duplessis, DDP? What are your thoughts on Dricus Duplessis? I think that he's hot right now. Obviously, very hot in the in the middleweight division, right? So really, definitely something to take a look at in the future for sure, right? In terms of being a legend, like that's what I mean. Kamzat will submit DDP. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's gonna have a great run. He has a great run going on right now, but at the same time, yeah, you know. By the way, guys, just so you know, I have you are Mexican, yes or no? No, I'm not. I do get mistaken for Mexican. I am Arabic. So, yeah. I do get mistaken for that sometimes, but yeah, no, not one or anything like that. So, yeah, Kamzat will submit DDP. I see that. I definitely see that. Fluffy versus DDP will be a banger. I think Fluffy versus DDP is going to be a fight where, let's say, DDP loses and then he has to get back into the circle of championship runs and championship contendership. Fluffy will be the guy that he has to fight on the way down. By the way, fun fact, me and Fluffy Hernandez fought on the same card back in 2012, and I got into it with his opponent backstage because I was wearing a Palestinian scarf, right? A kufaya, and so he had something to say about it. His opponent was like saying, "Oh, you know, nobody's gonna die, bro. Nobody's gonna this and that." And yeah, so I got into it with his opponent. And by the way, at the time I was fighting 155, and obviously Fluffy has been fighting at 185 forever. Do you ever watch bare knuckle fights? Sure, if it's a fight that is worthy to... you know what? One of my friends and training partners fights at BKFC. His name is Idris Wasi, if you guys want to check him out. Who was it? Who was the opponent that Fluffy Hernandez fought in that same card that we were on? Let me see. Let me take a look at this. Reno Combat Fluffy Hernandez. Was it Reno Combat 33? Let me see. Let me take a look at Topology. There probably is going to have his amateur bouts here. Amateur bouts that, let's see. July 20th. Blake Smee. It was Blake Smee. That was his name, is Blake Smee. So yeah, Blake Smee was his was the guy that I got into it with backstage when, yeah. So it's famous here nowadays. It's illegal before, but it's the federation decide to bring it back. Yeah, it's very big in the Russian circles, isn't it? You know, it's very big out there. Obviously they have this thing, what is this thing called? What is this thing called? Hardcore fights, I believe. Yeah, subscribe. Shout outs to JB Zaddy for subscribing. And everyone that is on here, yeah, please also don't forget to subscribe as well, right? Highly appreciate those that are subscribing. Zeke Delgado as well. Please don't forget to subscribe as well. That would be, yeah, that would be great if you would subscribe as well. Also, guys, on my community section, I have, you guys can also tap into my Facebook as well. I throw a lot of different clips out there if you guys want to check it out. I guess I started from the Roman Empire, and if I am wrong. Okay, is Conor the highest earning UFC fighter of all time? Yoda, okay, that's a very interesting question. Yoda, not only is he the highest earning UFC fighter of all time, but he is also the highest most screwed fighter of all time in terms of the money that he takes. So think about this. Being the highest earner also makes you the highest person that gets screwed for the most amount of money. Okay, if you mathematically look at it like that, right? So, yeah. Uh, uh, okay, John G says Muslim is. Okay, well, goodbye, John. We're going to give you 30-minute timeout. Come back in 30 minutes and talk your stuff again in 30 minutes, John. So, yeah, hardcore. Yeah, it's illegal. Is it illegal? Is that illegal there? That's interesting. That's interesting that that is illegal there. Okay. I wonder why. I wonder why that would be illegal there. That's interesting to say the least. I don't know why. Why would it be? Huh. That's interesting. Okay, yeah. Why do people hate Muslim MMA fighters so much? Well, here's the thing, right? That's a great question, William, and I'm going to elaborate on that reason why. Muslim fighters, for the most part, with the exception of myself, right, are not big talkers. Right now, the reason why I'm a big talker is because look at where I grew up, right? I grew up in the East Coast of New Jersey. And what exactly does that mean? Well, guess what? There's nothing but a trash talking culture out there, right? So when you have these fighters like Connor or Ilya Tapora or Alex Pereira who are exciting, who have a personality behind them, and then a Muslim fighter beats them, it sort of dampers the excitement for people. My son is not going to the WWE SmackDown April 4th, Chicago, Illinois, because my son's name is Anthony and have a school party on June 9th, Monday night. Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm assuming that you are from the Chicago area. Okay, so party on June 9th. Okay. But yeah, so SmackDown, that would mean, okay, yeah. Yeah, that it would mean that yeah. Yeah, yeah. So let's see here. The president can't legally pardon him. It's not a federal case. Wow. Okay, so this was in someone just responded to my Cain Velasquez video, right? Because I wrote on my Cain Velasquez video that that I believe Donald Trump could possibly pardon him, but they say otherwise. They're like, well, no, you know, they can't pardon him because of a presidential, a presidential pardon of some sort. But on any regard, yeah. What else? What else? So there's okay. So let's go back to the UFC breakdown. Oh, everybody that's on the chat, let me know what part of the world you are from. Write down what city you are from, whether it's from Chicago or whether it's from different parts of the world. And by the way, Adrian up there, the Russian guy, what part of Russia are you from? The Russian army guy. And then Zaddy also tell me what part of the world you're from. Yoda says, I never heard anyone say that they hate Khabib. Yeah, I look it up. It's different. You hardcore. You mean the MMA ring and the hardcore, right? It's legal, and we have different times of hardcore fights. It's a concrete, bare knuckle. Yeah, I believe Artem Lobov fought in one of those fights before. So that's very interesting to say the least. That's yeah. Let's see here. Bare knuckle. Yeah, it's a. Okay, so let's see what else here. You're on the East Coast, you go to FCC fights. No, I grew up there, but I live in California right now, Sacramento, California, to be exact. So CFCC fights, yeah, I believe that is a pretty big region area. My son Zeke is staying home to watch SmackDown, order pizza, Nova, and drink. Okay, so when is SmackDown? By the way, what day does SmackDown usually start? I'm curious to know, like, because I know that it used to be like Thursday or Friday or something like that. So yeah, that's interesting to know right there. And again, everybody, write down on the comment section what part of the world you are from. Oh, April 4th, Chicago, Illinois, Rosemont. Oh, okay, okay, so okay, so let's see here. Sorry, hold on, just trying to get this thing going. Kevin Kevin is looking rough these days. Who is Kevin? Are you talking about Kevin Holland? I mean, he's coming off of a win, right? You know that can't be too bad. You know, coming off of a win like that with you know, so okay. Yeah, sorry, went on a little tangent there. Yeah, just let's see here. So UFC. Okay, so back at it. So Kelvin Gastelum versus Joe Pfeiffer. Right here, Pfeiffer is gonna KO the fridge, sadly. Pittsburgh, wrestling capital of America. Pittsburgh, New Jersey, wrestling capital of America. Yo, shout outs to wrestling in New Jersey. I've wrestled in New Jersey before when I was in Union High School. So yeah, down my hometown. Yeah, I haven't gone to a SmackDown show since, like, I believe back in 2011. In fact, the SmackDown show that I went to was, look it up. It is the same show that Cody Rhodes betrayed, or I'm sorry, Dusty Rhodes betrayed Rey Mysterio to help Cody Rhodes. So do you know we can hunt our national animal, the bear here? Okay, that's interesting. Is the bear? How does the bear taste in any kind of way? That's very interesting, right? I didn't know that bears were edible in any kind of way. I don't know if Muslims are allowed to eat or anything like that. So who is the saltiest fighter? P-Berg is short for Phillipsburg. Yeah, yeah, I'm very familiar with that. You know who else was really good in wrestling in New Jersey while I was growing up there? Do you know Hillsborough? The town Hillsborough. They are historically good. They are historically good in wrestling. So Okay. Steve O is in the chat. Oh, Steve O. Bears beats, and is that Steve O as in, hold up, hold up. Steve O? Is that the real Steve O? No way. Nah, no way. Is that the real Steve O? Hold up. What do we got here? No, it's not the real Steve-O. All right, nice try. But yeah, awesome. Awesome of Steve-O to join us in any regard. Okay, so who you got, Rampage or Rashad in the upcoming fight? You know what? I would say, I'm going to say, I'm going to say Rashad Evans. I think that Rampage has slowed down significantly a lot. And I think because of that slowdown, I think that it's going to affect him in a very negative way, right? I think it's going to affect him in a very negative way. I think Rashad is still in shape. The fact that Rashad is in great shape, I think, yeah, I think, I don't think, I just don't see him winning that one at all. I don't, right? Rampage is not in the right state. So, you excited for the solar eclipse on Saturday afternoon? Okay, I didn't know that that was happening. Okay, so, okay, look at this. 600 response. Okay. Let's see here. Just a second. Okay, so another matchup for UFC Mexico. David Martinez taking on Simon Oliveira in the bantamweight division. So let's see. How do I see that fight coming about? Who you got, Kelvin or Pfeiffer? I think Kelvin is going to out wrestle him, but there is a chance Pfeiffer will knock him out. Wow, growing. We didn't have all these solar eclipse. Seems like we have one every year. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? You know, that's interesting to say the least. Raul Rojas Jr. taking on Vince Morales. Obviously, that's going to be a win for Raul Rojas. How old is this kid? He's very young, right? He's only 20 years old, right? A phenom, and I think that he's already growing into the UFC. Here's one thing that I have real concerns about with Raul Rojas Jr., right? One of my main concerns with Raul Rojas Jr. is predicated on the fact that he looks like he's already taken a lot of injuries already. Raul was born in 2004. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. You know what I mean? And here he is. So be careful outside the eclipse on Saturday. Yeah. Raul Rojas, man, that's a very young man, and then he's fighting a 34-year-old Vince Morales. Yeah, that's an easy win for him. Manuel Torres taking on Drew Dober. I'm going with Manuel Torres on this one, right? I think that there are certain types of people that Drew Dober can beat. I just don't think that Manuel Torres is one of them. Hey, Drew Dober is a knockout artist. He can knock you out at any given time, right? But yeah, man. I think that it's Manuel Torres's fight to win for sure. So let's see here. What else? I like how UFC fighters can lose and still get good fights. Boxers lose and fans count you out. Torres by KO. JB. Yeah, here's the thing, right? I think Turkey Al-Sheikh is sort of changing the narrative in that regard, right? I think that what he is doing is sort of, hinting at the prospect of, let's say, how do I say this? Trying to give journeyman fighters an opportunity, but also giving opportunities to fighters that may lose big fights as well, because yeah, before it's like they count you out and this and that, and you know, and whatnot. So so that is something to consider right there. You know, definitely something to consider right there. Let's see what else here. Huh, okay. Ilya versus Dustin, who do you have? Is that the fight that they're going to make? Because if it is, I think that that is a very winnable fight for Ilya Tapora. And the reason why I say that's a very winnable fight for Ilya Tapora is because of the fact that he is just on a whole nother elite level that I don't think Dustin is in. Like, I think Dustin is obviously an elite level, but it's not in a way where Ilya is at right now. Ilya is a champion. Dustin is sort of on his way down, so that's something to sort of take into consideration, right? But yeah, I don't think that it's I don't think that it's going to help him in any kind of way going into a fight with Dustin Poirier. I'm sorry, I don't think that it's going to help Dustin Poirier at all. I just don't like how Dana doesn't pay UFC fighters. Tyson Fury's last fight made $100 million. Well, all of that is predicated on the Turkey Al-Sheikh expressway, right? I think that's really the best way to put it is Turkey Al-Sheikh sort of you know, facilitated all of those things. So yeah, Turkey Al-Sheikh is definitely a factor in terms of getting these guys paid. So yeah. Let's see what else here. What else is in this fight? All right, so how about this, right? Here's an interesting story with the heavyweight division right now, right? So obviously, Cyril Gane just won by a split decision against Volkov, right? But a lot of people felt that Alexander Volkov had won. So that really puts the heavyweight division in a very interesting position right there. Now, do any of these guys deserve a title shot? Because suppose that Jon Jones wins against Tom Aspinall, then who does he fight next? Right? I think, here's what I think. I think Jon is going to retire after he beats Tom Aspinall. But if Tom Aspinall beats Jon Jones, it sort of gives a fresh matchup in a division. Now, what's similar to that is, if you remember when, let's say, remember when Ronda Rousey lost to Holly Holmes, right? Who beat Holly Holmes right after? It was the fighter that Ronda Rousey kept beating, which was Miesha Tate, right? And then it just basically handed the belt over to Amanda Nunes, and then Amanda Nunes went on that run. So what I'm saying is that the only way Cyril Gane can really get a shot again is if, let's say, Tom Aspinall wins, because then it creates sort of a fresh matchup. Yoda says, without Turkey, Fury was making 20 million, maybe even less than that. Jon Jones has never made more than $1 million for a fight, I heard, and that's crazy. Yeah, it is. It's definitely crazy, and that is the reason why he's pricing himself out right now. And you know what? I think that he, for the first time, sort of has the leveraged position to do so. Yeah, he has the leverage position to, you know, absolutely get that done. So, yeah, it is crazy that he never really made that much, huh? It is. That is wild to think about. Huh. Let's see here. And by the way, if you guys have any questions on, you know, regarding certain content or this and that, just remember that I have my email on there that you guys are more than welcome to hit up. And yeah, speaking of which, yeah, Jon Jones, that is crazy though, that he's never made like more than 1 million. I don't know if that's true. I'm sure he's made 1 million in some degree, right? I'm not really sure which fight made millions, but I think there were a few fights where he has sort of made millions. But I don't know, man. You're right. You're right. MMA fighters are really so underpaid, and I think that having Turkey El-Sheikh come into the game, I think really changes that narrative in that, you know, in that light. So yeah, you don't like how Turkey, yeah, sort of doesn't pay the fighters. I hear you on that. Okay, so let me see if I can pull up something uh on Adam22 here. Let me know if you guys hear this. Oh,
I just called my attorney, trying to get him down there so Adam don't be doing no telling, bro.
Man, they saying Adam locked up, all on the blogs. What's going on?
They came and got him this morning, bro. They doubled back. They came by and we try to have him out because he's supposed to go live today, right?
Yeah, he's supposed to go live at 4 p.m. And the crazy thing is, Adam texted me.
They're going to have him out by like 2:30. We can get him out by 2:30 to still make it to the building.
Adam texts me every day, and I ain't heard from him today.
Listen, bro. I sent Alex Kessel down there.
okay. So apparently, they were really trying to press.
Listen, bro. I sent Alex Kessel down there.
Okay, so yeah, so they were really trying to press the issue on Adam22 here, right? I think that he had to bring in his lawyer, simply because Whack 100 did not want him to say anything or this and that. But yeah, I'm gonna play this and then I'm gonna try to get some more information to really get a good reaction out of this.
He said he gonna have him out by 2:30, right? He ain't got no nothing. He's not, he ain't no flight risk or nothing. I didn't need to, I said, Alex, just use whatever, he said, nah, he got everything he did.
Now, here's the thing. Is Adam really going to get arrested by the feds? I don't know, man. I don't know if there's some reality to that or if that's going to happen, but let's continue on here.
He's with his portfolio. So he should be free by 2:30. And that means he should make it back. What time he supposed to go live today?
He's supposed to go live 4 o'clock.
Yeah, he gonna make it. He
Hey,
gonna
why?
make it. He might be.
Hey, why?
He
Why?
might be a little late, a little behind, but they gonna do it. What's up?
Why? Why 2:30 or why not 2 o'clock?
Well, no, he just said 2:30 at the latest. So I'm telling them, you know, shit. I'm telling them ASAP. I don't want bro sitting there a second. He don't have to, but they own him about something, bro. I don't know what they own him about, but they own him about something. And I don't know if they were trying to get something out of him, but I'm pretty sure come 4 o'clock, he gonna be here. My attorney assured me. They assured me that they're gonna definitely have him at 2:30 at the latest. So he'll be here at 4 o'clock. I'm pretty sure he's gonna have a lot to say. This shit gonna whatever comes out of Adam out today, I'm sure it's gonna shake the mother internet, bro. For them to go with him, that means it's some.
Oh yeah, you know something. You must know something, right?
He don't do nothing, bro.
Yeah, because that's the thing a lot of people confused about. Because Adam made a post last night saying that the feds came knocking at his door. We seen him make a post and he said he's gonna be in a red Nike tech. Yeah, all right, but my thing is, what do you even think the feds could even want with Adam? Like, where does Adam even play in? But besides having people on his podcast, what would they even want from him?
Think about it. It ain't about people on the pod.
I mean, it's probably because of a lot of the things that he's been saying all throughout these years and just implicating people, asking some questions. It's really incriminating. I mean, what would they not want out of Adam?
Because that's contractual work, and a lot of times it's just on the muscle. You know, like we looked at Vlad, it comes down to maybe they think he has something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some footage, but with Brick, baby, a lot of his shit be live. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe it's something in the times Lou sent out with us, because remember, our shit ain't live. Right? And, you know, I got this no edit thing unless it's like some smoking or some dumb shit in there they got to do for you guys to get monetized. But, you know, I don't know. Like, Adam don't do nothing, bro. Adam don't do nothing. You know, Adam, look, bro, Adam sit his ass in there, eat his rabbit food, and be surfing the internet, looking and bringing himself, you know, up to speed on current events. So well, that's all he do. He don't do it.
Adrian, do you see what's happening in Yemen? What exactly is happening in Yemen? Let me know. Maybe we can react to it after I get through with this video right here.
Yeah. Adam don't do it. With his dog when he's there. That's it. Bro, on interview. So, when he goes out with Brick, or Brick goes out with him, rather, it's always like y'all went to Chicago and work. You know what I'm saying? Adam gonna do his shit back to his room, go half the time the people doing extracurricular activities, they finna go to the Adam go back to the room. You know that, right? So I don't know, bro. Whatever it is, he definitely will be sprung today. 2:30 at the latest. That give enough time to get back. So I'm knowing Adam, he ain't gonna give a fuck about nothing. Whatever he got on, he coming in with. He don't give a fuck because he ain't finna he gonna talk about it. Yeah. We gonna see it. He gonna shake the neck today. Everybody, if you listening, 4 o'clock, my word.
No,
Adam
it's interrogation.
will be free. My legal's on it. Shout out Alex Kessel. My legal's on it. He will be free.
I believe
and 4 o'clock, y'all need to tune in because whatever the fuck he's talking about, it's gonna be crazy.
All right, well, everybody's gonna be tuned in.
Remo,
what's the word?
I need you to.
U.S. airstrikes. Okay, let's look up Yemen. Okay, Yemen airstrikes. That is what's going on right now. Shout outs to Adrian for yeah. Oh, okay. Let's see if we can. What is this? Houthis attack. Okay, so it is a Houthis attack. Okay. Houthis claim to have targeted U.S. warships and aircraft in the Red Sea. Okay, so I think that is what the response is here. They also targeted military sites in Israel on March 26th. Yeah, the group's military spokesman claimed that they had carried it out. Okay, so it was a Yemen. Okay. A joint operation targeting warships in the Red Sea. Okay. Yemen Houthis attacked USS Harry Truman. Okay, according to Syria, the operation focused on the U.S. aircraft carrier USS Harry Truman. USA retaliate with airstrikes in Yemen. Yeah. Okay, so what did he say here? Okay, so let's. It says during the past hours, the missile forces, the drone air force. Okay, the naval forces carried out a joint military operation targeting hostile warships in the Red Sea. Okay, primarily the American aircraft carrier Truman. Okay, which serves as a launching base for aggression, confrontation, and engagement in the last several hours. And as for the last of the statement, the armed forces continue to actively confront the aggression and responsibly addresses various deployments and emerging situations within the operational area. Say hi and I will subscribe. Hi, Frank Henriksen. Nice meeting you. I hope you are doing well, and thank you for subscribing, and thank you for shouting out this channel. And I hope that you not only subscribe, but you also encourage your other friends to subscribe to the channel as well, inshallah. So shout outs to Frank Henriksen. Shout outs to Frank Henriksen. Are you from the Norwegian area by any chance, Frank? Let me know on the comment section below. Okay, so in a separate operation, Syria said that their drone air force targeted Israeli military targets in Tel Aviv. Wow, how about that? So you got dudes in Yemen now targeting airstrikes in Israel. That is wild. That is wild, wild stuff. That is wild stuff. Wow. All right. Well, yeah. So, yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that ground breaking news. So, oh, okay. How about this? Tactics and purpose. Let's hear what this guy has to say.
The United States military launched a campaign of targeted strikes against the Houthis in Yemen. A dozen F-18 fighters took off from an aircraft carrier, destroying more than 60 Houthi targets. Then, Arleigh Burke missile destroyers fired multiple tomahawks.
Okay, so that's an ongoing thing. Oh, how about this? Recent news right now. At least 4 tourists dead in a submarine accident in Egypt. Wow. Okay, let's see what this is about right here.
Burlington's spring deals are in the air. Styles are sprouting. Brand. The top stories breaking at 8, starting with a tourist submarine accident. Our chief international correspondent, James Longman, is tracking the very latest developments. Good morning, James.
Yeah, good morning, Rebecca. At least 4 people are known to have been killed in an incident involving a tourist submarine off the coast of Egypt. It happened just after 10 o'clock this morning, nearly a mile offshore from Hurghada, which is a popular seaside resort on the Red Sea. These boats go out, they're equipped with huge windows to give tourists a better view of coral reefs and marine wildlife. There were 45 people on board at the time, including some children. This was a Russian tour group. It's not clear how these people died.
Oh, wow. Okay, so how about this? That was a Russian tour group that had an accident on the coast of Egypt in the Red Sea. So it was a group of Russians that had unfortunately passed away in that. So, yeah.
If the submarine hit the coral reef, that is yet to be established.
Yeah, very interesting to say the least, right? That, yeah, wow. Wow, okay. So, Frank, did you subscribe yet by any chance? Let me know if you did. And everybody, also check out all my videos that I have on the video section, on the live section, and also some of the shorts that I have going on as well. While we also talk about Adam22 and his involvement with all of these things that are going on in LA right now, along with some other different news that we are covering from around the world right now. So you don't just get useless information here. I did now, I forgot. Oh, okay, you forgot about the Egypt submarine accident. Is that what you meant? Let's see here. Oh, no oh, okay, okay. Okay, so you did it now. Okay, thank you. I did now. Thank you. Thank you, my man. Thank you for that. And also, Ezek Delgado, don't forget to subscribe as well. And everybody else on the chat that is active right now, don't forget to subscribe as well. And also hit the like button. Also give a share. Would be greatly appreciated from you guys. And let's see what else here. Yeah, this is what I basically said about Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards right here. By magic, you start believing that you are the best in the world without really concentrating on the holes that you've had to begin with. What exactly does he mean by that? In the first fight between them, what happens? He gets out-wrestled, gets grinded all 3 rounds, a win for Kamaru Usman. Second fight, rematch, Utah championship fight, what happens? He knocks his head in with a head kick, a lucky head kick, by the way, very magical and Rocky-esque, no pun intended to his name, although very fitting. But prior to that, all 5 rounds he was getting out-wrestled, out-grinded, and it is no wonder, fast forward to UFC London, it's exactly what happens. He was out-wrestled, out-grinded, and then even prior to that, losing his championship against Bilal, that's exactly what went down. He got out-wrestled, out-grinded, and he never really fixed any of the problems that he had prior. So, moving forward, here's something you got to understand about mixed martial arts. It is a coin toss, a 50-50 coin toss. I had a conversation in person when he came out here in Sacramento, when he was training with Team Alpha Male, Cody McKenzie, former tough contender, tough contestant. You know, the guillotine master. Look him up during the GSP Ultimate Fighter days. Okay, so he told me in a private conversation that we had at my buddy's house, MMA is a 50-50 coin toss. It is literally a fight where you don't know which direction it's going to swing. You see, it's not like boxing. Whereas in boxing, everything that you do is predicated on one skill over the other. It's not like wrestling, where in wrestling, you cannot really beat somebody with an upset. Obviously, with the Wyatt versus Gable Stevenson matchup that had recently took place at NCAA, yes, those things are rare, but they do happen. And 9 times out of 10... By the way, shout out to NCAA Wrestling. I think Donald Trump had attended that wrestling match, which is interesting. I don't really see too many past U.S. presidents attending that that particular event. I know that George Bush did attend Henry Cejudo's gold medal win in China back in the Olympics of 2008. And you would probably bet that out of 7 times out of 10, rather, Gable Stevenson wins that matchup just based on the sheer skills alone. But mixed martial arts doesn't work out like that. You see, sometimes there is the homeostasis of a fight, meaning that, hey, you have this certain pattern of movements that you rinse and repeat that can get you the victory, sort of like the John Fitch, Khabib approach, where you just grind them and out-wrestle them. This wins fights, this wins points. But sometimes there's the element of surprise, just like Leon Edwards' knockout. And lo and behold, that happened. He goes into the Bilal fight, loses with the same fashion in a way that he lost to the first Kamaru Usman fight, in a way that he was losing in the second rematch. And of course, he won the third trilogy match just based on the fact that he outstruck Kamaru Usman, and it was a very close fight. And make of that as you will, the judges were in London. But either way, I think Kamaru Usman has a point there. You cannot think that when it comes to MMA, that you are the best just because you got one lucky shot. And that right there is a headshot moment. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to like and subscribe as I just reacted to my own video in audio form. So what did we learn from that video, and what did we learn from Kamaru Usman's statement? You cannot allow a magical moment in what could be deemed as a lucky shot to somehow let you think that you are going to get away with that in the next couple of fights. Brother, just advice, change the channel name to a simple, catchy name. It will help your channel get attraction. Well, you're right about that, Adrian, but here's the thing, right? There's a lot of channels out there that have very catchy names like MMA Guru. Obviously, that's one of the biggest channels in MMA. But the thing is that a lot of these channels that have these MMA names or names that are, you know, nothing to do with their names or anything like that, it's a little bit different because, look, I've actually put my name and myself in the world of MMA before and in the world of combat sports, right? So I understand it's not necessarily, you know, the biggest name in combat sports, but it is my name regardless, and it's my way of sort of edging my name into the world of mixed martial arts. And also, what I think it does is it sort of prevents a lot of confusion when it comes to copyrights. Now imagine, MMA Guru is the biggest MMA content right now in YouTube, right? Let's say if he was to catch somebody with a name very similar to his. How about MMA Boxing Guru or Boxing MMA Guru or MMA Guru Channel number 2 or this and that? He could easily go sue that person because you want to try to come up with a catchy name that... So it creates a lot of complications. But what I do is I add MMA to the end of my name to sort of let you know what kind of channel you're expecting here. So I think as long as I put MMA to my name, there should be no quarrels about what I do. But don't get me wrong, I obviously, you know, take that advice into consideration like I take all advices into consideration. It just so happens that, yeah, this is, yeah, the reason behind it. Hey, Kyrie, you be here on April 19th, Saturday night, and on April 20th, Sunday night. Is that when WrestleMania is going to be? If it's going to, yeah. I'll react live to WrestleMania, and just for you, brother, I'll be right here. And by the way, Ezek, don't forget to like and subscribe as well to my channel. And also, please, guys, remind me of this, right? I do have an email attached to my description, right? On the description channel right here. So if you guys want to, or I have my Twitter there as well, you guys can absolutely reach out to me and remind me of that. So please, yeah, remind me on Twitter of the WrestleMania card, because I will definitely open up the page to react to it live, so I can be right there with you guys reacting to it as we're watching WrestleMania. So what is the petrol price there? Somewhere around $4 or $5 a gallon or something like that, maybe even more. So yeah, just a little perspective there. But yeah, Delgado, please don't forget, okay? You know, I have a Twitter that's attached to the description on top of my page. Let me just show you guys, just to sort of give you in context right there. So right there, okay? Hit me up on right there. And then right underneath, I have an email as well that you can hit up. Okay, so for anybody that needs to hit me up, with that, yeah, it's right there. How much is a gallon in liter? That I don't know. I don't know the exact yeah, I don't know the exact one for that one. But yeah, yeah, it's fairly expensive nowadays. By the way, guys, I only need 3 more people to subscribe to the channel to make it 700. Let's make this a 700th stream by the end of it, right? I'm gonna go for another 1 hour, and then hopefully we will get, let's say, you know, let's say my 700 subscriber and whatnot. So, yeah. All right. So I just had to plug in, because I have this on a vertical stream, obviously. I don't know why, but vertical streams, for whatever reason, get more views than, let's say, just the regular thing. I don't know if it's because people are on their phones and they just scroll up and down, and, you know, you get more views that way. But yeah, that's interesting to say the least. Got it's almost 4 liters or so. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. What is it? What is it in Russia? What is the hey Kyrie, will win at WrestleMania 41? You will win at WrestleMania 41 night 1 Saturday. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, or Seth Rollins? I think I've answered this. I'm gonna go with Roman Reigns. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Roman Reigns. I think that he is. I think that he's a guy that is the leader right now, the most popular figure in professional wrestling. So I don't really see how he will not win this whatsoever. You know what I mean? So I don't know how he can't win that. But we'll see. We'll see, Delgado. So OTC. What is OTC again? Remind me what OTC is. OTC. Oh, for Roman Reigns. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Ezek is what is Ezek short for? Is that short for Ezekiel by any chance? Yeah. You like Roman Reigns? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, I do. I do like Roman Reigns. He is he's an interesting character to say the least. So yeah. 92 rubles liter. It's dollars, so it would be $4 a gallon. Okay, so very similar to the United States. Then I think that yeah, everybody around the United States or around the world has very similar prices, if not just yeah something to that regard. But yeah, let's see what else here. Oh, yes, just wanted to get to that real quick. Hold on. The price is high now because of the war. Okay, yes, yes, especially because your country is at war. Yes. So, what do you think of Zelensky, Adrian? What is the? I mean, obviously, I think it's. I think I'm going to know the answer to that question, but just for conversation's sake, what do people in Russia think of Zelensky? What time WrestleMania will start? Okay, well, let's look that up. Let's look up what time WrestleMania will start. WrestleMania 41. Okay. And that's going to be in Allegiant Stadium. Okay, so start time. So it's going to start at 4 p.m. Pacific. So what part of the world are you from? Chicago, right? So if it's 4 p.m. here, maybe 3 or 2 p.m. where you're at, if you're in the Midwest. So let me know if that's accurate for you in any kind of way. But yes, I will open up the stream so I can come and watch it with you guys and react live. So I think that will definitely be an interesting date, to say the least. I think UFC is also taking place that same day. So let's just make sure here. April 5th, which is the next fight night against Josh Emmett. By the way, Sacramento's own Josh Emmett. 314, that's going to be UFC 314, that's going to be April 12th. And then April 20th. Okay, so wow, okay. So there is no UFC. There is no UFC on. I'm sorry, yeah, there's no UFC. So wow, they're kind of coordinating with each other here. They're like, you know what? We're not going to throw a UFC fight on this day because we don't want to overlap. So what we'll do is we'll save that day for you, because after April 12th, you're not going to have an April 20th card, or not going to have a UFC. So yeah, I'll definitely just concentrate straight up on the WWE card. At least because of him, the Russian economy got better. It is now the highest it's ever been because of Zelensky. Wow. Okay, so that's interesting. So it got higher because of the war. And that is all because of Zelensky. Is that right? Okay, that's interesting. Wow. That's very interesting, to say the least. Okay, so
The fine folks at Fireball. Loose has a incident that is isolated, but they're now putting it in context to say it's under the big U enterprise. What I'm saying is that
you doing today and tomorrow night on Saturday? Yes, I will. I will be. I'll be here for UFC Mexico as well. So please don't forget to bring yourself and your family as well. Okay, for Saturday night for UFC Mexico, I will be here. So hopefully, Delgado, you bring yourself, your family, and your friends to come join me in this live stream. I would love everybody, your friends, your family, and everyone around you to come join me for UFC Mexico. Also, by your special request, WrestleMania. So please tap in here for WrestleMania and put your notifications on so I can shout you out for my WrestleMania stream.
you're right. These things existed. No, you
But now let's react to more Adam22 being pressed by the FBI.
said that earlier. Come on now.
existed.
Okay, but hear what I'm saying. When you see a RICO drop down, they're now putting everything and linking everybody together, whether it's right or wrong. So don't you think certain things should stay off of a podcast or
I'm telling
clubhouse?
you, when the topic of Big U came up, Whack 100 would deny creating a narrative revolving around Big U.
If you guys seen your name, and like, I mean, you seen no
Very excited. Very, very excited.
jumper in the indictment. Do you, like, if that was me, I would be like, all right, certain
That's
conversations.
good
No.
So shout out to you and Aragaya as well. Did I say that last name right? Aragaya? Delgado Aragaya?
But not certain
My
conversations.
thing is, I've never wanted Brick to come on the podcast and say some federal ass shit that can get him in trouble. I feel like
Would you
sometimes.
change the thing? That's what I'm asking. Would you change? Like, if I see my name there saying my conversations that I facilitated on my platform basically corroborated these crimes that's locking.
Adrian says, the war economy. War economy is simple to get improved. That's what people forget. We got all these sanctions and people think it's going to hurt bad, but it helps more than it's hurting. Yeah, I mean, and on top of that, you're not really in like in the mercy of the United States or these other Western countries as well. So that is something to really take into consideration. You go into El-Kheer's musical. What is that? What is El-Kheer's musical? Let me know what that is.
Up somebody I call my mans, I'm going to say for future episodes, yo, listen. And that's what I thought you were doing even when you went to Chicago shit, because they not your mans. You know what I mean? But this is your backyard. You don't see me doing shit. I live in New Jersey. Right. I don't do shit on New Jersey. Now, Big U, in my opinion, tried to put...
when and where is that? I don't really follow much of Mexican music, but yeah, let me know when and where that is. But that's interesting. I know I have a lot of Mexican homies that do, that are into that. But at the same time, also being in the West Coast, the majority of my Mexican homies are mostly into, West Coast rap, or if not, Chicano rap, as they like to call it.
But you seen your voice getting bigger, which that's a problem, because now you create narratives. I know about creating narratives. I create, like, yo, these artists, any artists that don't like me, it's because I'm creating a narrative about them.
What narrative I created?
It doesn't matter what, but once your voice gets a certain type of, width or whatever, like, you can create narratives. I think Brick Baby was supposed.
So academics made a good point there in the audio that I just played, right? I think sometimes what a lot of these new age podcast gangsters do is they get in here and they talk about hood business. They talk about business that goes on in their hood and their gangs and things of that nature. Now, what's problematic about this is that usually if you are part of that life, what you're usually doing is sort of living a covert ops mission life, right? Where you're sort of living in secret. Now, the idea of sort of putting yourself out there and putting all your information and the things that you do behind closed doors, I think it's very antiquatical, opposite of what it means to be, quote unquote, a gangster. Now, what he's also saying is that what the feds are doing right now is really tying everybody into this whole entire sphere of RICO charges and gang injunctions. And then not to mention Trump right now is really going after gangs, and that really was predicated on the fact that Venezuelan gangs were coming out here after being migrated from one border to the next and into Mexico and into the United States. Now they're over there in Colorado and other states taking over apartment complexes, if you remember. You be here for SmackDown tomorrow afternoon, U.S. time. What time is SmackDown tomorrow?
Supposed to either, debunk that, whatever the case is.
He lied, but guess what? The paperwork came out. We got the work. We got the work. I don't create narrative. You want to see me create
USA
a real
Network, okay.
Yo, whack.
Are you picking on me?
I'm trying to say.
A real
yo, I'm trying to say.
Big U was f***ing his son's baby mama.
If you have a 700 plus credit score,
little commercial break right here.
We're going to leave it right there, man. This should be a valuable lesson to everybody, man. You can't...
All right, listen to my man Nina Boy drop some knowledge on this particular no jumper reaction right here, or the federal indictment that's going on with no jumper.
Man, you can't trust nobody, man. And like I said, man, I seen my own people pass the ball to a stranger when I was wide open, homie. So that tell y'all, man, when you depend on you, it ain't no days off, man. Keep grinding, keep shining, and watch who you call your friends, because they could destroy your life, man. But that's my time. I got to get to the gym. Y'all stay tuned. I'm going to get it back cracking when I get back from the gym. Y'all see y'all on the next one.
All right, let's start from the beginning of this one with Nina Boy's live stream today. Oh, speaking of which, hold on. Let's go to Dubs right now. Let's react to Dubs.
Quick and secure phone number.
So this one, 600, for those of you that don't know, that's Whack 100's friend. He is the guy that put out all this information about Big U, and he responded to my man Dubs right here. Let's listen to this.
And everybody, welcome back to the channel. New video. Okay, check it out. I did a video the other day on the contrast between 600 and Compton Rick Rock. And 600 did a reaction video, a response video. And he had a few things to say, and I'm gonna do the top 5 things, kind of like the first 5 things in order that he talked about. I want to respond to.
Who is that? Ezek Delgado, and then Adrian. I give you an example: the Starbucks stop in Russia. So what happened is new companies start to take place. Okay, so that's obviously a positive consequence. At the same time, just different name. It's the same all-factory company. Ruble stays in Russia, and jobs start apps. Okay, so that's very valuable information right there. So yeah, this is a very valuable stream. Come to think of it, right? A lot of valuable information here. So yeah, Delgado, let me know who that is. Okay. And who is that again? Is that the same person that was on this chat, or what?
This is my response to the response of the original video. Okay. So to kick it off, 600 said that I made the video because my numbers are low, right?
Just be here Saturday night. Okay, just be here Saturday night for the UFC Mexico live stream.
And that I need a response from the most viral dude on the internet. Do you know who Penguin Zero is? That dude does no thumbnails, doesn't care about titles, and he'll get 1 million views a day on any topic. So if I was after that, I would have went after somebody who really is viral. So I appreciate the confidence that you have. And we'll get more into your confidence level.
So in other words, what he's saying is that he thinks that the reason why he's going after 600 is because he has the clout in terms of what's going on with all these things that are going on with Big U and all these other situations that are going on with No Jumper. And what he's saying is that, hey, you know what? If I wanted to go after somebody with big views, I would go after a guy who's making $1 million a video with no description and no thumbnails of any kind. So
levels later in the video. Number 2.
The time for UFC Mexico will be 1 p.m. Western time, which is California time. So what time is it where you are at? Are you in Chicago or the Midwest?
Number 2, he said we have a lot. He said we have a lot in common because neither one of us can go where we're from.
Okay, Chicago.
Oh my God! Speak for yourself, big dog. I literally live minutes from my barrio, minutes away from where I caught a body. I went to prison for a body. I live like literally minutes from there, and we'll get more to that in a second, right? And let's get something straight right now, 600. I don't give a fuck how big you are, homeboy. You're not gonna lie about my hair. Fool, I can grow hair. I don't want cornrows or extensions.
Hey, that's
and all
funny.
that. But I
Yeah.
actually shaved my head today. I had to shave it again. I have to shave it every other day. Does my hair grow in a way that I want it to grow? No. Do I have the Yankee Stadium on the back of my head? Yes, I do, you big motherfucker. What's that got to do with you, though? Now, he said that we...
Is Zeke short for Isaac or whatever? But yeah, let me know.
He gave me an ultimatum. 600. 600. You gave me an ultimatum? Homie, only God can give me an ultimatum. You ain't him. What you mean you gave me an ultimatum? And you said it had to do with Cowboy and that I was running around with Cowboy from 60s. You know, you can't have it both ways. When you said that I was running around with Cowboy, I never ran around with Cowboy. Do you remember where that was filmed, though? Right here in my city, about 5 minutes from my barrio. Which one is it? I can't be here or I can. Are you just listening to the internet? That's what it is. Yeah, so a homie,
that's awesome,
Big, who does food reactions, said, hey, I want to do a food reaction in your city. I said, come on with it. He said, I want to do something on the pier. You guys got an old-ass pier. I want to do something on the pier. That's why we went to that nasty-ass restaurant, right? And he brought Cowboy. He no longer fucks with Cowboy, right? But because that video was done, all the people that hate on me act like I hung around that cat. I never hung around that dude, right? So there's that. But yeah, we were, you know, and all that, Dubs can't do this, Dubs can't. He was live on IG the whole time we were sitting in the restaurant eating. He had the camera right there. And anybody that was on his live saw me, saw
I'm not sure.
Everybody that was there. And I don't understand. You gotta tighten it up, big dog. I know you don't do research. That's why you put out the video that Big U hung himself when he didn't. And that's what I was talking about. When you put out stuff that I get you don't like the dude, but I mean, damn, protect the integrity of your channel, right? What you do with your channel is your business. And and that went, there it is there. Boom, we're done. That was the last thing was you don't care about accuracy. You say you do care, but you know, you left.
So in other words, the argument between Dubs and 600 right now is the challenging of the accuracy that 600 was putting out in terms of the indictment that have been placed on Big U. So
Some videos. It doesn't matter to me, Big Dog. What I was really trying to do was show the contrast between you and Rick Rock. I see you guys, you and Compton Rick Rock have some going on. I think my hands are bigger than yours too, Big Dog. Just saying. Keep it in mind.
That's a bit of a dig right there.
I have to be fucking 100% honest. You guys see that I'm bullshitting with this one. I'm not taking what he said personal. What the fuck would I look like being emotionally invested in what he says about me? Just like, why would he get emotionally invested about what I have to say?
Well, he's being emotionally invested because you're challenging his integrity, and that's really all there is to it.
Video made me laugh. Motherfucker, you need to stop with these wardrobe changes, and your wardrobe is your motherfucking hair. How you gonna have, I'm gonna put it up now. I'm gonna put it up again. How you have short ass hair with no hair right here whatsoever, right? And then the very next day, you have extensions. You have Tank Davis's hair. Extensions. Don't let one hit you in the eye. Don't get no breach in that. So the very next day, you have Tank Davis's hair. Now you have cornrows where you didn't have no hair. Homie, did you glue that? Like, I mean, you the extensions on the top, I get it, but homie, is this gonna be a thing? Am I gonna have to subscribe to your channel to see what fucking hairstyle you have day to day? Imagine. This is crazy. So this is my response to 600, and I'm gonna keep it real. I did a video on the contrast between those two channels, right? And I said, right now,
you tell me, Big Dog. I probably, yeah. Wiener Warrior says, praise Allah, pray Alhamdulillah. Shout outs to Wiener Warrior right there. What an interesting name you have. So yeah.
Both of those channels, because of the topics, they're both Crips. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. They're both Crips, right? And so them speaking on the Big U thing, they have more knowledge than I do, obviously, right? And so right now, 600, he's blowing up. You haven't been blowing up though. I mean, it's been a struggle, big dog. Every now and then I go over there to see what you're doing. Honestly, keeping it real, I go and read your comments. It's fucking hilarious.
600 definitely gets a lot of hate comments on his channel for sure.
And you know, in that you said that you could do the same videos that I do. You could talk about the same things that I talk about. And just to keep it real, you cannot talk about sitting in the dungeon in Pelican Bay. You cannot talk about doing decades behind.
Adrian asks, Wiener Warrior, how is the war, brother? Wow, okay. Are you asking him because he's Ukrainian, or I don't know what part of the world Wiener Warrior is at? But either way, yeah, let me know what part of the world you are from, big dog.
Behind the wall. You cannot talk about whacking dudes under the gun. You can't talk about a lot of the stuff that I talk about. That doesn't make me better than you. I'm just clarifying, because you saying that you can do the videos that I do. You can't. Just like I can't do a lot of the videos that you do. We have a different set of skills. We have a completely different life experience. And so I speak on my life experience. I speak on things through the way I view the world due to my life.
Me too.
Experiences. You know, you talk about whatever you talk about, but I am completely, like, I'm all in. I might subscribe because I'm wondering, do not have dreadlocks tomorrow. If you have dreadlocks tomorrow, long ass ones, to get them long and dirty, to get them put in dirty, I would subscribe, and I would probably ask everyone to subscribe. Man, and you know, hey, you do all this all the time. You're talking, and some days you do that so much. I'm like, are his hands cold or is he starting a fire? I don't know which one. And the lip thing you do, come on now, you know you do. Hey, but the funniest one, can I give you the funniest one? When you do that, the parts where you're being dramatic, and you do that, I'm like, damn, homie, I don't think that's scary. It looks like you did a blast and you just came back. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, to say the least, that is an interesting screen name, isn't it? And yeah, it is a different kind of war. I mean, yeah.
All bullshit to the side, man. I feel like the way that 600 responded to my video, he laughed. He fucking made me laugh. Like, I can't go in on him, right? That's like, this dude made me laugh. And like, I don't know if what you do is a character you created. And I do know you're a troll. I do know that a lot of the stuff you do is to get people to click. And I believe you when you say you don't give a fuck who likes you or not, because you just want them to click. I get that part, right? But there's so much to say. I lost my train of thought. How'd you do that? Were you rubbing your hands right now? This motherfucker hypnotized me. I was going somewhere with that right there. And I'm gonna leave this in. This is just a blooper that happened, and I don't give a fuck, right? But the way that he responded, the way that he reacted, I got to tip my hat to him. And you know, imagine if a lot of us content creators that don't really dig each other reacted to each other, responded to each other like this, and we kept it pushing. It would fuck the trolls up. Because I guarantee as many people that hate you, they would love to see you and I do the whole internet beef. And another thing, before I go, that I really respect, that 600 did not revert to the old name-calling shit, and then I'm going to call him when I see you. Because that's the phone.
Yeah, that right there, I gotta admit, that's really respectable. Oftentimes, when people sort of beef online, they make these unrealistic expectations of sort of creating a bravado. In other words, when let's say him and another person are going at it, they're going to say, oh, well, I'm going to beat your behind or this and that, even though that these two people are on different sides of the world. And sometimes it would be in the same city. I tell you what, I've had beef with somebody that was in my city and it was publicly on YouTube right here prior before. And well, that's a little different because obviously we can see each other, we can reach each other. But if you are in a different part of the world or you are in a different region where it would be almost impossible for me to see you or just see you at an instance, it's not really worth all this back and forth bickering of, oh, I'm going to do this to you and this and that. Did I kick his butt? Yeah, I absolutely did it. Let's just say that it spilled over into real life, and yeah, I'm going to watch WWE Best of WrestleMania. Okay, let me know how that goes, by the way.
Funniest shit ever. You know, we all know who watches social media. If somebody don't like somebody, you don't say it. You just, when you run into them, hey, what's happening? You know what I mean? And I don't think anybody's scared of anybody. At least they shouldn't be. And at the end of the day, we're just making content, man. And I feel like I do like the way this dude responded. Go check out his video. Everybody that watches this video, go ahead and check out his video. He tried to roast me. Comedy's not your thing, big dog, but you did make me laugh. And when you laughed about me clowning your hair and did it with a brand hairstyle number 3, in 3 weeks, you had 3 different hairstyles that are mathematically impossible to do naturally. That's my video for the day, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody.
All right, so let's hear the response that he was talking about with 600. Let's see that fires back. Okay, here we go. This is the response from this guy. This is the response from this guy right here. This is what he had to say.
Shout out my guy, man. My guy sent me the Dubs video talking about me and Compton Rick Rock, you know, but we gonna...
Now, this is 600's response. This is the guy who put out all that information about Big U, which, I mean, some say that led to his arrest, so...
Make it real short and simple and not too much, you know. Hey, shout out Dubs, you know, like he said, he ain't got no personal problem with me, I ain't got no personal problem with him, but this is just a simple case of someone needing a response who's low on numbers, needing a response from the most viral person on this thing, and then also looking for a friend because we heard you're not good where you grew up at no more. You know what I mean? And that's okay because, you know, like I always explain to people when following.
He says, yeah, I agree with him. You don't know what kind of people you are talking to give respect unless they don't give respect. Yeah, that's again, a very, very wholesome response, right? The right thing to say and the realistic thing to really say, honestly.
Followers and subscribers and viewers and everybody, we don't want to go back to where we grew up. So, you know, it's okay that you cannot go back. It's okay you've been given a boot, and that's fine with me.
Hey, by the way, guys, if you're more than welcome to drop in a super chat if you would like. You send a super chat, send a few bucks or this and that, whatever you can do. It would be definitely helpful. So, yeah, don't forget, okay?
You know, because I don't like the people around the neighborhood I grew up in. So, you know, we got a little bit in common. But let's get to it. So, you was talking about the extensions. Well, you know, I can cut them off and go bald like you. But you know what you can't do? You can't get no braids extensions, man. And Rick Rock is about, he fading away too. You know, we're going to get to him in a minute. But Dubs, I remember a while ago, man, we had like a little something. I gave you ultimatum to keep my name out your mouth. You feel me? And I believe that you took that and you said, you know what, I'm going to leave 600 alone because he's going to bury me. You know, you was hanging out with a high-risk sex offender by the name of Herman Douglas, who's on Megan's Law. And I told you I was going to get to the bottom of everything. But you know,
I do remember that WrestleMania 37, right? That was in the Tampa, Florida stadium, night 1 and 2, April 10th and then April 11th. I do remember that, yes. That was yeah, that was quite a crowd. That was quite a crowd. That one. Yeah. Who was the matchups in that one? Let's see here. Yeah, Randy Orton against The Fiend, which was Bray Wyatt, I believe. Bobby Lashley against Drew McIntyre. Natalia, yeah, Cesaro. Man, there's a name I haven't seen in a while. Does Cesaro still wrestle, or is he out? But yeah, I do remember that. That's a good one.
You know what? The person who sent me this video told me to get on your hyena. He told me to get on you. But I ain't really tripping on you, Dubs, you feel me? Because we just here in this social media space, you know. And if I see you, I might say, what's up, Dub? What's poppin' with you, man? Man, why you make that video about me, bro? Why you just talking about my hair extensions and all that, man? But the one thing I don't like is you say I don't care about accuracy.
Yeah, that almost ruined the event, didn't it? That's kind of the reason why Dana White does not do stadium events, right? Obviously, they have the Allegiant Raiders Stadium in Las Vegas that they could have had UFC fights in, but obviously he refuses to, and that's the headquarters of the UFC. Why? Because he's afraid of the rain sort of interfering with the fight. So, man, I can't do that. Google, Chrome, YouTube, all that apps are banned here. I am using VPN, not rich, but if I can give $5 or $6 or so, I would do that. Okay, well, thank you. That's highly appreciated. I guess they block people from sending money from Russia, I suppose. So
now, and you're looking for a friend in Rick Rock, well, now soon to be Rat Rock. So, you know, what I don't get is, what did I say that was a lie? That you think I don't care about accuracy? The information I got about the DA who's supposed to be working the same case as the Eric Holder, and it was the Nipsey murder, and the Rayshon Williams, the one that Big U was in there for. I got that from the family, okay?
So what 600 here is saying is that, you know, he did not snitch in any kind of way. What he did was basically get information from the family that he supposedly said came from the police, and as a result, he put it out on the internet, and now he looks like a snitch, and so a lot of people are sort of hounding him for that in the LA gang community and whatnot. Adrian says, we have to use VPN just to watch YouTube. Wow. Okay, so that's crazy. That's crazy to think about, man, that you have to do that just to watch YouTube. Wow, okay, I didn't know that.
The FBI told the family that.
Okay, so in other words, he's saying that the FBI is the one who told the family that, and he's just relaying this information out to everyone.
And that's who I got it from. The same people that told the family that it was DNA found, and they were going to go pick up Big U. Same people. So I'm not just like making up stuff. Now, the one video where I said he hung himself, somebody told me that. And before I did my research on it, I ran with it because I don't care. F Big U. It is what it is. He's a buster. He's a liar. Allowing people to name me. He allowing me. I can allow him. So there's no rules with him. It is what it is. Then you said that I said that all my homies are busters and rats. I've never said all my homies are busters and rats. I'm not a buster and rat. You feel me? I got homies I talk to who ain't busters and rats. But it's a lot of busters and rats from my neighborhood, and I stand on that. And you say I say it from afar. I'm in my neighborhood every day. I'm outside every day. If anybody got a problem with me, I go live at the same locations. So don't make it seem like I'm somewhere in the living room or a basement or an attic somewhere far away and nobody know where I'm at. I just got pulled over today. You know what I'm saying? For black on black windows. You feel me saying? So I'm everywhere. You know what I mean? So, and it's like, you said I don't really care about, you know what I'm saying? Oh, no, this is what you said. You said, look at my comments and then look at their comments. I'm not here for nobody like me, bro. I'm not a likable person, bro. I'm not here for...
You know, and he's right about that, right? It's not about whether people like you online or this and that. A lot of people are not going to like you. And in fact, if other people like other people, okay, that's on their own will. And sometimes that's deserving and sometimes it's not, and it goes both ways. Sometimes it's deserving that people hate you, or sometimes it's not deserving that people hate you. But either way, as long as they are watching, that's really what matters as a content creator. That's really what it comes down to. If they are watching, that's all that matters. Great if they like you, great if they don't. But that's really that all there is to it. Upheave says, yo, bro, what's up, my man? How you doing?
For people that like me, I'm here to put the content out. Y'all watch it, y'all watch it. This ain't my only source of income. Y'all watch it, y'all watch it. I ain't tripping. I'm listening. I know how to go react to every hot topic in the world like everybody else do. That's a cut and paste trick. I can talk about everything you talk about. I can talk about everything they talk about. I just choose not to. I just choose things that's kind of like close to me and got something to do with me. You know what I'm saying? So anybody can sit back and say, oh man, dude got shot today, so this was going on. How I feel about him getting shot. Why you got shot? Just be a reaction, bro. I have to follow them to do that. I can talk about whatever anyone else is talking about, bro. Unfortunately for them people, they're not the content. I'm the content. So whatever you're saying, these guys' channels are thriving, I can thrive.
So a little commentary on that, right? Usually, now, this is, I know that this is specifically about West Coast gangster business and whatnot. Don't get what he says, White Crow says. Well, this is a person who sort of implicated that Big U was going to get this RICO trial or this RICO case going with the FBI, and so people are sort of labeling him a snitch when it was the victim's family that was informed by the FBI, and he sort of just took that as a third-party information and gave it out to the world for his own content. So he's sort of speaking on that particular topic. But I understand that this right here is about California gang politics, and it may not exactly translate to the rest of the world, but talking about it in a universal sense, right? There's always this common aspect where people say something to the extent, well, you know what, man? I don't know why you go and talk about other people, or you gossip, or this and that, or you talk about other famous people on your channel. Why don't you talk about yourself? Well, look, here's the thing. If you want to talk about yourself, that's good too. But if you want to talk about and react to what is going on in the world and give it your own experience and things of that nature, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. There is talent in being able to speak and being able to react and being able to evoke emotions out of people. And if you can do that, well, you're in the right space. So let's continue and finish on with this real quick.
If I want to sit down and talk about what they're talking about, because they're not creating no content. They're just saying whatever's online. I know how to talk real good. You know what I mean? So that's, I ain't gonna lie. Your video had me laugh.
And by the way, this 600 guy, his real name is Chris Lovejoy. So there's a combat sports element to this. Even though he is a member of the Rolling 60s Crip, he is also a boxer. He also boxed for Eddie Hearn's promotion out in England. So a little fun fact about this brother right here.
When you said 1 week I had the shortcut, and next week I had...
White Crow, he is from Russia, and he is joining us via VPN. So, and I'm not even exaggerating or joking about that.
Extensions, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was fun. That made me laugh. It was something else you said made me laugh. You know, it's like so crazy. I don't take things personal, Dubs. You feel me? I watch your videos time to time. You know what I mean? And, you know, you're very well spoken. And I like that. I admire that. You know what I mean? But, and you said I'm not, what you said, I'm not like, I can't make the cut. Well, you must ain't did your research on 600. It's a reason why I called these top names rats and busters.
Oh, wow. So we got White Crow from Moscow. This is awesome, man. I have, like, people from Russia come in and watch me. I'm very honored for the Russian people to come and watch me, and then even honored that you guys are writing some Russian letters down there. That is awesome right there. Big ups to all of you right there.
And ain't nobody put up on me yet. Number one, I ain't lying on nobody. All facts, all receipts. Number two, I'm him from where I'm from, before the internet. Yeah, once you really think about that, you have to be a certain type of individual from my neighborhood to speak on these certain things and move around safe. So you got to do your research before you speak. But like I said, we maybe get to you and your background Oh no, this made me laugh. You said he's always moving his hands and doing his lip a certain way. That was funny. That made me laugh. You feel me? That was funny. But yes, everybody go check out Dubs, man. He looking for some friends. He looking for some subscribers. He looking for some support. He's looking for content. You feel me? I'm not a hater. Y'all go check him out. You feel me? And I'm gonna see y'all soon.
All right, so a little 5-minute intermission here. Talk amongst yourselves in the chat. I will be right back, and we will continue this stream in just a second. Hold on just a second. A little few minutes of intermission right here real quick, okay? So don't mind me, just a little intermission here real quick.
That you see, existence in the world for the words that you speak. If I ever rule the earth, there are things I would teach. Live a life to the fullest, for the strongest, not the weak. Gotta watch what you say and the things that you see. Existence in the world for the words that you speak. If I ever rule the earth, there are things I would teach. Live a life to the fullest, for the strongest, not the weak. Cause I'm a rise, skate, slip and slide. Where, nigga to the other side. Where them niggas lay they head at. I've been waiting so long, gotta get my payback. And I bang that. Niggas talking all that shit, but I hold your tongue. All that dissing niggas know, niggas time gon' come. So hold your gun, nigga. Or that ass get popped, and we gon' double back, nigga. And your heart don't stop. Get a toe tag. I came for that pain. He was capping in on songs. He didn't feel that way. Starting shit you can't handle, nigga. Now your family outside, lighting candles, nigga. Yeah. Gotta watch what you say, and the things that you see. Existence in the world for the words that you speak. If I ever rule the earth, there are things I would teach. Live a life to the fullest, for the strongest, not the weak. Gotta watch what you say and the things that you see. Existence in the world for the words that you speak. If I ever rule the earth, there are things I would teach. Live a life to the fullest, for the strongest, not the weak. Let them niggas try, bust their minds in broad daytime. Niggas mama cry, cause he died up on the main line. Remain a young G, I'ma die like a soldier. Stay away from all the leeches and what your mama told you. These builders snatching souls after dark like a thief. We found this location like a cheetah when we creep. But hold your eyes open, don't turn to dust up in the dark. Can't see who the shooter from the smoke when it sparks. Can't blame nobody, cause your ass cause it all. Now death takes its course when Satan starts to call. But that tough niggas speaking, get bitch niggas hurt. You wanted all the drama, now your ass up in the dirt. Gotta watch what you say, and the things that you see. Existence in the world for the words that you speak. If I ever rule the earth, there are things I would teach. Live a life to the fullest, for the strongest, not the weak. Gotta watch what you say, and the things that you see. Existence in the world for the words that you speak. If I ever rule the earth, there are things I would teach. Live a life to the fullest, for the strongest, not the weak. Not the weak.
All right, so I'm back. Okay, so I'll probably do just a couple more minutes, and then we'll get right to it. So the main event of UFC's Mexico, okay? And shout outs to everybody that's tapping in, having the Russian conversations going on here. I'm very honored by that, by the way. I always have this deep respect for the Russians, so them tapping in, I always welcome it. So, okay. Moreno versus Steve Erceg. I'm going to go with Brendan Moreno on this one. I think that Steve Erceg is a great mixed martial artist. I think that he sort of got a title shot very early in his career. I think it was way too early. Let's take a look at some of his career trajectory right now from Steve Asteroid Boy Erceg. Very interesting name. So he's coming off of 2 losses right now. One from Kai Kara France, got TKO'd by Kai Kara France. Alexander Pantoja, he lost in Alex Pantoja's title defense. He came into the UFC beating Costa at UFC 295. David Durkoff in UFC 289. And obviously, yeah, that was his UFC debut. And then a couple of fights later, he's already in there with a title shot, right? Which is interesting because, I mean, like, where was Muhammad Makayev, right? Like, why didn't they push him early on, right? He could have gotten a very early push, but for whatever reason, it just never came to fruition. Good luck. I hope you get back safely. Oh, okay. You guys are talking amongst yourselves. Okay. So, you know, he's on the verge of getting a third loss right here. Now, let's take a look at Brendan Moreno's career trajectory right now. That win over Amir Albazi, split decision loss over Brandon Royval, that could have gone to anybody, right? Pantoja, he was at a split decision. So this is a guy who is literally at a championship level, right? He could have easily won that fight with Pantoja. He obviously lost. He made a doctor stoppage, gave Davison an eye injury. Liver kick to Kai Kara France. He loses to Davison by unanimous decision, but then he chokes out Davison, and then he gets a draw from Davison. So he has this insane series with Davison. I mean, this is a very seasoned champion. And by the way, I'm very looking forward to this fight because I'm curious to see how Steve Erceg is going to go on with this. In fact, looking at it, this is such a mismatchup between them. A very serious mismatchup. So, man, you know what? It's really going to be interesting to see how this is going to go about. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do, guys, okay? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do an intermission right now. I'm going to continue this stream, as a matter of fact. I'm going to keep it going, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up everything in my car right now, right? I'm going to set up everything just so I can take you on the road with me. How about that, right? Who wants to go on a road with me on this live stream right now? We'll get it cracking, we'll get it popping, and we'll continue the live stream because the trajectory of this live stream is going really well right now. Praise be to Allah, brother, and free Jared Fogle. Who's Jared Fogle? Man, you guys bring some very interesting curiosities my way right now. You're talking about, who's Jared Fogle? Who is this guy that you are talking about right here? Jared Fogle. Spokesman for... No, the Subway guy. No, heck no. Heck no, man. You know what, Wiener? I'm going to have to ban you for a couple of minutes for that one. I'm sorry, man. I'm putting you on timeout for... I'm going to give you a 1 minute time. No, 5 minutes. I'm giving you a 5-minute timeout. Okay, for that one. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, you can't see free Jared Fogle. I'm like, who is that? Oh, the Subway guy? Oh, heck no. Heck no, that can't happen. Sorry, dude. Sorry. All right, let me get this cracking and popping real quick. Stay tuned. I'm going to keep this stream going, okay? Hold on just a second. Okay. Let me thoughts on Holland calling out Colby. Oh, No Chill MMA. Man, now that No Chill MMA is here, you know what? I'm going to continue on the stream. Hold on, just a little bit of an intermission. Let me get my car going, and then I will pick up my phone. I will take you guys on a ride with me as I'm going live stream right now. Remember, this is the most epic mixed martial arts channel in the history of mankind. You want to know why? Because you don't know where I'm going to go. You don't know what topics I'm going to touch. You don't know who I'm going to touch up while I'm on live stream. For all you know, you might catch me running a fade with, you know, a random op in the middle of it, but who knows, man. We're gonna have yeah, I'll be right back. We're going to get this popping. Hey, Kyrie El-Kheer, what its sound back around. We are global, Adrian says. Okay, stay tuned real quick, okay? Hold on just a second.
In the world, for the words that you speak. If I ever rule the earth, there are things I would teach. Live a life to the fullest, for the strongest, not the weak. Gotta watch what you say, and the things that you see. There's justice in the world, for the words that you speak. If I ever rule the earth, there are things I would teach. Live a life to the fullest, for the strongest, not the weak. Cause I'm a rise, can't slip and slide. Where, nigga? Nigga to the other side. Where them niggas lay they head at? I've been waiting so long, gotta get my payback. And I bang that. Niggas talking all that shit, but I hold your tongue. All that dissing niggas talking, niggas time gon' come. So hold your gun, nigga. Or that ass get popped, and we gon' double back, nigga. If your heart don't stop, get toe tag. I can't feel that pain. You was capping in those songs, you didn't feel that way. Starting shit you can't handle, nigga. Now your family outside, lying handles, nigga. You gotta watch what you say, and the things that you see. Existence in the world, for the words that you speak. If I ever rule the earth, there are things I would teach. Living life to the fullest, for the strongest, not the weak. Gotta watch what you say, and the things that you see. Existence in the world, for the words that you speak. If I ever rule the earth, there are things I would teach. Living life to the fullest, for the strongest, not the weak. Make the niggas try, but the minds in broad daytime. Niggas mama cry, cause he died up on the main line. Remain a young G, I'ma die.
Okay, so I have about just 10 minutes before I take this on the road with me. I'm going to keep the stream going, by the way. But, okay, so thoughts on No Chill looking like Scrappy-Doo. Scrappy-Doo. I mean, listen, I have no problem with No Chill. As a matter of fact, No Chill is one of my biggest allies in this YouTube game right now. In fact, everybody that is tapped in right now, do not forget to like and subscribe to No Chill MMA's channel, also mine as well, and all my other allies in the YouTube game. Man, let me tell you something, man. I'm going to answer No Chill MMA's question, thoughts on Holland calling out Kobe. But first, I'm going to shout out to all my allies, right? Last year, can we get an Allahu Akbar? Allahu Akbar. Last year, or a couple of years ago, I used to watch all the MMA channels. I used to watch all the gangster channels. And then I used to watch all the military channels, right? Now, in 2025, all the military channels, all the gangster channels, and all the YouTube channels that I watch now watch me. And that is the greatest honor ever. Now, on to No Chill MMA's question. Thoughts on Holland calling out Kobe. I think that's a great matchup. I think that the trajectory that Colby Covington is in right now is perfect for Kevin Holland. Obviously, Kevin Holland fights on a very active level, right? Colby, you could say, is a lot more elite than Holland, but I think Holland has developed a whole lot more based on the fights that he's continuously taken. Here's an example of that is very similar. Who do you think right now would beat, would win between Conor McGregor and Jim Miller? You want to know my answer? My answer is Jim Miller. Now, you're probably thinking, whoa, that's crazy, especially if you want to talk about it on paper. Well, let me tell you why that's crazy to you, right? Because you're looking at Conor McGregor from the position that he is already at right now, right? The accolades that he's accumulated over the years. But what you're forgetting is the miles that Jim Miller has accumulated that is positively on his direction when it comes to being active and getting the feeling of being used to being in there. So if Jim Miller and Conor McGregor were to fight right now, I would absolutely go with Jim Miller for the winner. Now, what about Colby and Kevin Holland? Well, this is the same thing. You see, Kevin Holland may not be in the elite championship echelon that Colby Covington is in, but guess what? Colby Covington is inactive in comparison to Kevin Holland. He may not have the same accolades as him, both inside and outside of the octagon in terms of his wrestling accolades, but Kevin Holland stays active, and he could knock you out. So I think Kevin Holland can absolutely knock out Colby Covington, and it's crazy. All the black dudes are the ones that are knocking out Colby Covington, which is kind of funny to think about. What is that? Thoughts? Okay, so Usman versus Brady on International Fight Week. Hakeem the Dream. Is that what's going on? Hakeem the Dream. Is that a confirmed? Is that confirmed? Is that confirmed that it is going to be Hakeem the Dream? Is that confirmed? Usman and Brady on International Fight Week. I think that's a very good matchup. I think that's a great co-main event, maybe even a main card opener, depending on how big the card is going to be. That's a rumor. Okay, So let's see. This is Thursday right now. So maybe next week on Tuesday, because the UFC every Tuesday, what they do is they do matchmaking. Okay, so the matchmaking aspect, I think, is going to be done next week, and from now till the summer, they're really working on trying to get all of these fights together. So let's see if they are able to get all of these fights together, and hopefully, yeah, hopefully they do. Hopefully they do get all these fights together.
Nu så yoget.
Yeah, let's see. Yes, no, Bro Force says yes, no. I don't know what he means by that, or... All right. Hold on a second. I'm gonna prepare to get this show on the road real quick. Okay, so just stay put.
Dove Men gives you 72-hour protection against odor-causing bacteria. Care changes everything.
Make Easter moments magical with the Gold Bunny from Lindt.
Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh. All right, hopefully that didn't catch on the okay. That song was not supposed to be playing while that was going on. Hopefully I could cut that part of the song. But anyways, okay, so yeah, I'm probably not going to be going anywhere soon. So yeah, back to the UFC talk, right? So yeah, I think that's a good call out. That's a very good call out for Kevin Holland. I'm really looking forward to that fight. So that's going to be an interesting fight to look forward to say the least. So yeah. What else? What else is there? Oh, Delgado, Ezek Delgado. Tell me more about what's going on in the world of wrestling right now if you're still here. And by the way, was that your mom earlier at Anna Arriaga? Is that how you pronounce it? Anna Arriaga? Is that your mom that was here earlier? Let me know. I wasn't sure if you guys were related or anything like that. But yeah. Hello, sir. Requesting permission to troll your stream for a short while as I wait for my pizza to arrive. I'm a fat troll with no life and like to generally annoy people. Dominator, no. You do not have permission to troll because I don't know what you're liable to say that could affect my page in any kind of way. I mean, I step out for just a minute right now and that LL Cool J was playing. Yes, my mom's last name. Okay, so yeah. Azik, do you have Facebook or Twitter or anything like that? So you could send what you know what? Here's what you could do, Azik. If you would like, you could be my personal WWE news correspondent, right? So if you know anything about like any news that is going on in WWE, you could fill me in on that because I think there's a demand for WWE, right? I'm sure Dominator here loves WWE. He seems like he would probably be a WWE fan, right? You know, just eats pizza, looking to troll people and this and that, sort of in that same line of trajectory. So, you know, let me know if you can do that. Also, if you want to reach out to me for that Delgado to do like WWE content, yeah, hit up my email. Okay, so yeah, hit up my email. CM Punk. Okay, so CM Punk, he's going to be there. I will subscribe to your channel. Shout outs to John Doe. How you doing, John Doe? Shout outs to you. So that's going to make you the 698th subscriber to my channel. So that's good. I'm looking to get 700 on this stream right now. So if you're going to be the, okay, there it is. You subscribed right there. So 2 more, guys. 2 more and we'll get to 700. Shout outs to everybody. And Delgado, yeah, if you're interested in that, yeah. I respect your decision, sir. Please respect my manners as I did request my permission before attempting to troll. Have a great day, sir. Wow. I tell you what, that right there is the most kind troll. Not kind, but how do I say this? Very gentle type of troll. I mean, that's the kind of troll that I guess you could appreciate, right? You know, a respected troll. You know, so that's interesting to say the least, you know? So, yeah, shout out to you, Dominator. I hope to see more of you here. And you know what? Hey, I'm going to report card next Monday morning. I'm going to report card next Monday morning. Okay, so you're going to send me a report card next Monday morning. You know how to reach out to me, right, on my email? Just so you know. This is how to reach out towards my email right here. Okay? This is my email just to show you. Okay? Let me know if you got that Delgado. And please, everyone, don't be sending me no BS emails either, right? So if you want to reach out to me on that, give me some reports on WWE and all of these other things that's, you know, surrounding that particular matter at hand, okay? So let me know if you got that email, Delgado, and yeah, we'll go from there, okay? So send me all the reports for WWE, what's going on, so that I could report on it as well, because obviously WrestleMania is coming up. I want to be able to kind of, you know, give some analysis prior to WrestleMania, because then I'm just gonna jump right into WrestleMania and not really have any backstory of what's going on, which is kind of fun at times. Don't get me wrong, it's fun to just jump on those things sometimes and just get it going, right? Without really any backstory to getting there or this and that. But yeah, you have a very unique and clear voice. I would like to hear you calling the commentary on horse racing. All right, everybody, that is a horse number 1. He is on the way. He's passing up horse number 3. Horse number 3 is passing up horse number 4. Horse number 4 is coming up. Yeah, so kind of seems like you got the perfect horse racing voice, if you know what I mean. I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what kind of implications you mean by that. I don't know if you really literally mean horse racing or this and that, but yeah. So yeah, Delgado, since you have this passion for WWE, if you want to do that, let me know if you are down to do that, okay? And if you got my email, yes, you are, please hit me up today so we can talk and, yeah, you know, give me some information on, you know, on WWE. So, yeah. Mr. Invisible, remember me? I saw you collecting bottles and cans. How much did you make? Sending love. You would not see me collect bottles or cans in any kind of way, so I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know if you're implying that I'm like homeless or something like that, but you know, even if I was homeless, right, that would be really, I mean, that's just a horrible thing for you to say to anybody, right? You know, don't deny. Well, if you can't prove to me in the next 10 seconds where you saw me do that or anything like that, I'm going to block you. Also, my uncle has a lot of cans in the garage. You don't even know what part of the world I live at, Mr. Invincible. But yeah, hey, Kari, you excited for SmackDown April 4th? My hometown, Chicago Allstate Arena. CM Punk will be there. Yeah. Delgado, I am excited for that. So would you be down to send me some reports on it, on what's going on and things of that nature, so I could make news on it? Would you be down to do that? But yeah, Mr. Invisible, let me know where you saw me do that, and if you can't provide any information on that matter, I may have to block you in the meantime. So yeah, let me know right now if you don't respond in the next 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and you get a 5-minute timeout. No, we're going to make that a 10-minute timeout. Sorry, Mr. Invisible, you are invisible for 10 minutes. Okay, so did you get my email, Delgado? If you did, yeah, you know, just hit me up on that. So, all right. Okay, so on to the next topic at hand, right here. Brick. So you guys know about Brick Baby, No Jumper host, right? A lot of people are saying that he was stabbed while he was in prison. Is that true? We're going to find out. Now, look, if he got stabbed, it's probably because of all the talking that he's been doing on the outside, right? So, let me see here. Yeah, so Delgado, email me right now so I could save you in there, okay? But yeah, let's get to this Brick Baby content right now. And yes, please, Delgado, email me so that I could give you, I could give you some points on, how you could do this report for me. So here we go. Cliff World, we are reacting to right now.
YouTube family, YouTube La Familia, YouTube Primavera. Because I'm finna start learning how to speak Spanish. I told y'all that. Now, for all of my Hispanics out there, my Spanish-speaking people, what does Primavera mean? I know it means something.
Yeah, what does Primavera mean? Let me know what that means, by the way.
Good. Now, as y'all already know, yesterday, two gangsters for YouTube said his informant, his resource, his very great solidified resource, his credible resource.
Yes, you give your YouTube channel live stream. No, my email. The email that I was telling you to go email so that, I could send you some pointers on how you can do that WWE report for me.
Gave him information that Brick Baby had been poked up in MDC in Los Angeles, California at a federal hold facility. With a lot of tech to determine that was a lie. Not saying the toxic media was not toxic media. Not saying that two gangsters for YouTube was lying, but the source was lying. Because almost instantly, immediately, instantaneously, Loose Cannon's wife reached out to Brick Baby's wife. Brick Baby's wife got an email from Brick Baby saying that, hey, I don't even know why you would believe anything like that. Malarkey. They putting dirt up on my name. Why would anybody? Who the hell finna poke me up? I'm the dead homies cuz if somebody would have poked me up. That's something.
Did you get it? Ooh, yeah. Did you get it? Let me know if you got it.
On West Side rolling crib, cuz ain't nobody finna poke me up, cuz. I don't sick so, cuz I would have hit cuz with a tiny low dip, cuz, and we would have been in there thundering, cuz. I'm the dead homies. I can't even see how you even. That's how Brick Baby was talking to his wife. The internet said Brick Baby got poked up, and Brick Baby came and said, cap, not the truth. Now, I said yesterday, bro, I need to hear from Brick.
Okay, so email it right now. Okay, email me right now with your email so that I can save your email.
Today, I don't like that. I don't like when they putting allegations on people like that. He got poked up. Then we've been hearing from Loose Cannon. Nah, I need to hear from Brick Baby today. A lot of people said, why would Brick call in, bro? He got a fed case, bro. Brick ain't stupid. He ain't gonna call in, bro. Look like Brick Baby called in. I said, man, I think they trying to do Brick Baby like they did Jeffrey Epstein. I need to hear from Brick, dog. How the hell y'all got a salacious rumor like that? Brick Baby that got poked up and he just got in there. That's crazy. Then Compton Rick Rock the night before that was saying that people was finna get poked. I was worried about Brick Baby. So with no further ado, YouTube family, Brick Baby calls in from the feds to the No Jumper podcast, and he denies all of those rumors. He denies being jugged up. So with no further ado, let's get off into it.
Hey, so look,
we only got like 4-5 minutes to talk.
all right, look, you live, Brick, you live. They can hear you.
What's the big deal? Oh, shit, I ain't saying nothing.
What do you mean count down your email? You mean check it right now?
No, it just is what it is. Free to know, you already know what it is. Free to break. And nigga not tripping, we right here live from the Fed. And ain't shit happening with the break gang. We do shit to people. We the people. We ain't, you know what I mean? We ain't going for none of that. Talk about it.
Brick Baby, don't be telling the internet that you do stuff to people when you in the feds, fam.
The feds something to a nigga, man. A nigga ain't out the way, man. Come on, man. A nigga ain't touch me.
Man, come on, man. You already know. They on there. It's a whole bunch of rumors flying around. They said you got hit up in there, all type of shit.
Man, I'm that guy, dude. Like, not like that, though, bro. But you know what I mean? Unfortunately, this is where I grew up at, gang. So this like second nature to a nigga. But it's all gravy. We right.
This call is from a federal prison.
It ain't what a nigga think it is. A nigga be back soon. They probably gonna give a nigga a bail soon, but you know what I mean? They go on the way.
That's love. That's love. Glad to hear from
Yeah, I didn't receive it, Delgado.
you. Glad that you can talk to the people and let them know that you're safe. You know, there's been rumors going around, all type of shit.
And I'm on the main line. Ain't on none of that other shit. I think it is what it is. Freedom.
Y'all heard what Bricks
So in other words, Brick Baby is saying that he is in the main line right now. So
said. He on the main line, cuz. On the dead. Do y'all know what that means? Blues.
I'm about to cash this check for $50,000 for an accident I was involved in over 5.
Blues. Squabbles. Possible squabbles. Definitely pressers. Hey, where you from, cuz? Hey, where you from? You and you on the dead home. You gotta get in to the back. The dead home. We finna rack them bumps in the back. To the back. We finna get in. Big Baby say he front line. We finna get in. Nice little free to break, man.
It's just free drink. The people wanted to hear your voice, man. Yeah, I didn't. You was just calling me on some regular shit. This wasn't even a call just to be on live. I just happened to be on live to be on it.
You already know. It's all love. Everything say all right there.
Shit, we got Creeper in here. We got Zay, Almighty, Jaleese in here, Josh in here.
Hey, gangland, man. You already know, son. Josh, Jaleese, Drake. You already know. It's gang in this bitch.
Man, everybody make sure y'all go to Brick YouTube, y'all go run up Brick Music, everybody go stream everything, y'all go stream all his music, you know, everybody just tap in.
There's gonna be something up on there tomorrow, 10 minutes with the Brick, man. I ain't put something together, man, but I just had to make sure that it wasn't it, you know what I mean?
So for everybody out there yesterday, when I said I wanted to hear from Brick Baby, for all of y'all out there, it was like, bro, Brick ain't gonna call in. He ain't stupid like Loose Cannon. Well, it turns out Brick Baby been putting together a 10-minute presentation, a documentary.
Yeah, no,
Not a bouncer. The lawyer gotta listen to it first, man. But you already know it's all good. And you know what I mean? You know it's no jumper till we die. Y'all stay out of everybody's business on that motherfucker for sure.
No jumper crib.
Yeah.
So in other words, he's just saying that he was never stabbed in the first place. All right, so that's basically what he's saying. All right, let me just play something else here in the meantime. Everybody that's tapped in, yeah, please do not forget to, tap in and subscribe. I need 2 more subscribers to hit 700. On the road to 700 right now. Well, let's see. Jon Jones has recently told the media that he wants 6 months to get ready for Tom Aspinall. Now, is he right to do that, or is it wrong in terms of competitive integrity? Well, let's take a look back, right? In the current date right now, I would say that it is 14 years ago where Jon Jones became the youngest light heavyweight champion in the history of the UFC, if not the youngest UFC champion ever. Now, what is significant about that? I can tell you that I was training with Uriah Faber leading up to that fight, which, by the way, was also Uriah Faber's UFC debut after becoming a WEC legend and WEC being bought out by the UFC. So that's a pretty significant history on the part of Jon Jones and also everyone from Team Alpha Male. If you remember back in the days, Uriah Faber and Jon Jones used to do a lot of videos together. Remember that dance, Teach Me How to Dougie? Teach Me How to Dougie. If you remember in 2011 or so, they both came out doing these little dances with it way before TikTok came out. Well, now here we are in 2025 where TikTok and short clips rule the world. On top of that, now you have a different Jon Jones in a different trajectory, still a champion, but a champion in a different weight class, having to deal with this new generation of athletes, in particular, somebody like Tom Aspinall. Now, a lot of people are sort of citing that prior to the championship fight between Shogun Rua, if you remember, what's significant about that was that his teammate Rashad Evans was supposed to take that fight. Now, given the fact that Rashad Evans was not able to show up for that fight, Jon Jones was the replacement just 1 month coming from beating Ryan Bader, which, by the way, was a #1 contender fight. Not really. Yeah, it was a #1 contender fight, but more like a prospect versus prospect kind of fight. But in the end, Jon Jones came out on top, and just like that, they granted him... my favorite Kendrick Lamar song, I'm going to have to say... Whacked Out Murals. I like the little Spanish singing that they have going on there. That sounds amazing. I love it. I love the singing, and the Spanish part of it as well is just very good. UFC title. What's also significant about that day, he caught on with a purse snatcher, right? Somebody that snatches ladies' purses and all that. He went and got them. Okay. That's a good song, too. In the middle of Newark, him and Greg Jackson sort of made a citizen's arrest and then waited for the police to come. And then hours later, he goes in the cage and defeats Shogun Rua to become the light heavyweight champion of the world. No, I'm Arabic and Islander. So, yeah, that's why a lot of people mistaken me for being, Hispanic. So... yeah. And back then, looking at it, you would think that Jon Jones is a type of athlete that is literally ready for anything at any given time, right? Because he went from Ryan Bader to Shogun Rua, and then the list goes on of the names and the people that he has fought along the way. Well, somewhere along the lines, Jon Jones started slipping in his training. Obviously, he had some discipline issues when it came to substance, when it came to off-the-cage extracurricular activities. And as a result, it led to him becoming a different fighter than what we would have expected. Well, can I be on? I guess you could say I'm an honorary Hispanic, right? Is that a fair assessment to make, Delgado? To see out of somebody who seemed invincible. The Shogun Rua fight, the Alexander Gustafsson fight, the Dominic Reyes fight, even the Owen St. Preux fight where he was coming off of a drug suspension only to come back looking very lackluster in the way that we would normally see him or the way that we think he would be. Well, here's the thing, right? Him asking for 6 months, is this really out of the realm of reality when it comes to understanding Jon Jones's mental trajectory? In fact, no. If you remember, he was supposed to fight Dan Henderson. That card fell through. Chael Sonnen was ready to come in there and replace the teammate of Dan Henderson, which is Chael Sonnen, very similar to Rashad Evans, being replaced by Jon Jones, which, by the way, they later on broke off, stopped being teammates, and then that's where Rashad Evans sort of built the Black Zillion team. Well, nonetheless, this is Jon Jones's trajectory. He said no to that fight against Chael Sonnen. You want to know why? Because he wanted preparation. And what happened when he met preparation with Chael Sonnen at the right place at the right time? He took him out in the first round. What happened with Cyril Gane when he took off all these times, and you could argue perhaps there were contract negotiations along the way that sort of contributed to that? You got to think to yourself, he wanted to build up some muscles for heavyweight, and then what had happened in his first heavyweight fight against Cyril Gane? First round submission, made it look very easy. So Tom Aspinall, here comes this guy who is well-rounded, very fast at heavyweight, very dangerous as a heavyweight, and somebody that is an extremely formidable opponent for Jon Jones. He decided to take this protective measure in order to help him prepare even more so than what we would have imagined him to be originally, right? look, obviously, there's a level of insecurities there, and rightfully so. Even though he may try to play it off as to say, well, I'm not scared of this and that, he may very well not be. But he's also not an idiot. And as a result of that, there is a reason why he is taking his time into wanting to either stall out or just have the best preparation possible, which, by the way, is sort of within his historical repertoire. This is what he did. He canceled an entire event with Jon Jones. Do you guys remember that, when Jon Jones canceled an entire event and then moved it from Las Vegas, who has very strict guidelines when it comes to drugs, and then moved it over to Los Angeles? Let me know if you guys remember that one. And Dan Henderson, and as a replacement of Chael Sonnen, only to fight Chael Sonnen later down the road. So once again, is there any similarities with this, with Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria? And I'm going to just elaborate on that a little bit. Obviously, Ilia Topuria got rejected by Islam Makhachev, and a lot of people are giving Islam Makhachev flack for it. Now, is it an attractive fight to see? Yes, but this is not similar to that of Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall. The reason for Islam Makhachev is not preparation, because he's prepared to take on the best 145ers in the world as a 155 champion, which we've seen him do with Volkanovski. What we have with Jon Jones is a situation where he wants to be fully prepared as much as humanly possible, whereas with Islam Makhachev, it's not about preparation, but rather to build up his legacy for a formidable opponent, and in particular, an opponent within his weight class. So with that in mind, that is all that I have. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you in the next content. All right, so another video that I'm going to play for you guys right now. By the way, that particular line that I just said right now, I'm probably going to use that in the intro of this entire video to sort of put things in context. And that, because Jon Jones is in a situation where he is now on demand and also being discouraged at the same time, which forces him to really comply to these demands. That is what's going on here. There is a demand for Jon Jones to fight, and there is a demand for Tom Aspinall to fight, and as a result of that, they are going to come hell or high water to make this happen. So more on that in a second. But first, let's address Jon will UFC fight London. Tom. There's no way he'll retire before. Complain about the fact that, hey, yeah, I agree. I agree. It's important for his legacy, isn't it? Just the fact that, hey, you know what? A lot of their fighters lost, that it was a hometown crowd sort of expecting their guy to win. That's the reality of sport, isn't it? Or is it the fact that Leon Edwards really overestimated himself to a disappointing performance against Sean Brady? And then to add insult to injury, Sean Brady does the little handgun sign saying, hey, you know what? You guys don't even have guns in London. Why do you say headshot dead and all that? Make of that as you will, but it is worth noting. It is a stereotype that they have about the British and London and the UK altogether, because they definitely have some serious gun violence issues. They just don't happen to have legalized citizens that can own them. Now, that's a separate issue and a separate topic at hand. But the crowd didn't seem too happy, maybe because of the fact that the tickets were so expensive and then the lack of star power within the card. Speaking of star power, they had one big star in the crowd, a British fighter, but he was not fighting that day because Tom Aspinall, even he said it himself, he sort of is past that, right? Sort of outgrown the O2 Arena, these O2 shows in London that they have in March on a historical yearly basis. But that's what it is. He's now graduated into fighting Jon Jones. Now, more on the Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall story right now. So it is approximately Monday morning, just right after UFC London, and many people, especially in the MMA content creator space of the UK, are complaining about how it was the worst card in UFC's UK history. Okay, so in other words, one of the worst events in British MMA at the highest world level. Now, is this true? Perhaps. And for who exactly? Now, was it for the British? Obviously, because it was the same card that Molly McCann had to retire because she got beaten by somebody who was coming in there at a couple of weeks' notice, maybe not even. A lot of the British fighters lost, including the main event, which was a shocker to everybody, not to myself, considering that there's a lot of grappling prowess that was being ignored on the part of Sean Brady, only because of how the Bilal fight had ended up. Well, understand this, the Bilal fight has two wrestlers, two grapplers, and they were going to cancel each other out. As a result, it was going to be contested in a boxing match, which Bilal Muhammad had the best of. But obviously, this video is not going to focus entirely on just UFC London. That has come to pass. But speaking of UFC London, who was in attendance? It was none other than Tom Aspinall. Now, as a result of Tom Aspinall being part of the crowd and being part of a major guest in the UFC's, special guest cage side treatment and whatnot, he goes and holds up a picture, a toy of a duck. Obviously, we know what this particular language is hinting towards, and it's hinting towards Jon Jones being a duck. All this while Dana White comes out the same fight week of UFC London proclaiming that the fight between them has already been done, has already been signed. Now the question is, we don't know who and where. We've seen Jon Jones in multiple videos, multiple pictures, in what is now his co-ownership of the Dirty Boxing League along with Mike Perry, where he was promoting an event, by the way, an event where Yoel Romero was a part of and got a pretty vicious knockout against some unknown heavyweight that nobody's heard of, but what do you expect from these smaller shows, right? Well, one thing that stood out was the entire crowd was yelling, F Tom Aspinall. And you know what's crazy about that? It sort of reminded me of the same way the British crowds sort of rally up for their guy, for their favorite fighter. It was no different in that particular instance. And that's what stood out to me the most. So what stood out even more than that is the fact that now Jon Jones not only has people that are discouraging him from calling him a duck, but now he has people that are telling him, hey, you know what? You, my friend, need to go out and fight this guy, and we're going to support you for it. By the way, that particular line that I just said right now, I'm probably going to use that in the intro of this entire video to sort of put things in context. And now, this is a video of people in the, what was that? The fight at boxing, at the Dirty Boxing, just yelling out, F Tom Aspinall. Watch this. Because John... Yeah, so to kind of just give you guys a little bit of perspective on that. Jones is in a situation where he is now on demand and also being discouraged at the same time, which forces him to really comply to these demands. That is what's going on here. There is a demand for Jon Jones to fight, and there is a demand for Tom Aspinall to fight. And as a result of that, they are going to, come hell or high water, make this happen. Now, they said that they had it signed already. Why is it that we're not getting any of these announcements right now? I can remember back when Floyd Mayweather was going to fight Conor McGregor. There have been a lot of inside rumors within the industry talking about how this fight was going to happen. Yeah, I'm excited for that one. Shows which I remember watching back in the days around 2017 or so, where he was saying, man, I just can't wait for this fight to be announced, hinting at this particular fight without mentioning any names or anybody involved, because he just could not stand that he had to stay silent due to the fact that a year prior he was taken away.
Oh, is it Triple H's
UFC
year? Okay,
his,
that's interesting.
Press pass due to the fact that he leaked information on Brock Lesnar fighting at UFC 200, which, by the way, the announcement took place in UFC 199, the same event that Michael Bisping had the biggest upset in middleweight history of defeating Luke Rockhold, which he had lost previously to, and by the way, at a short notice, within literally a couple of weeks, while filming a movie. So this is what is going on right now. We have a lot of situations in the media and insiders where they know something that many people don't. And what exactly is that? Is that Jon Jones wants to fight Tom Aspinall, and I think that they probably already had it signed. And at this point of March 24th, 2025, and by the way, the reason why I'm naming the date, which I don't normally do for videos, because you obviously want the videos to be timeless, but at the same time, you also...
The Shawn Michaels matchup where they had, I believe, an I Quit match. I think that one was pretty memorable for Triple H.
Want your videos to have a coherent chronological order when it comes to announcements like this, or relevance to a particular...
By the way, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. I just need 2 more subscribers to get up to 700. Please help me out if you can. 700. I just need 2 more subscribers and I'm in there.
Date and storyline and things of that nature. Well, I can tell you that what's going on with Jon Jones is that he wants to fight Tom Aspinall, and for some reason, many people are calling him bluff. Now, look, I've made several videos about this particular topic because guess what? This video right now and this particular topic is on demand. People want to know, people want information, and people want to make sense of these things. So I'm going to make it make sense as much as possible. So I don't think Jon Jones is scared to fight. You see, many of you are saying that because, let's be honest about this, a lot of you don't like Jon Jones, and that could be for several reasons. Some of those reasons are reasonable. Some of those reasons are, believe it or not, race-related. And some of those other reasons are also due to the fact that you can't stand people who win all the time. You see, the other day, I saw...
And see, that's an important thing to understand about Jon Jones, right? A lot of people can't stand Jon Jones because he wins all the time. But that's one story. The other story is that he just is a reprehensible person sometimes. My favorite Triple H matches is WrestleMania 28 with The Undertaker. Oh, yeah, that is a good one as well. That is definitely a good one as well. Good reminder on that one. By the way, how old are you, by the way? For you to know all of these different matches, and you know, just let me know how old you are, just so I can, you know, kind of understand in context what coherent age you are at when you're watching these fights or watching these matches.
On WWE Raw, I believe it was an episode where he was in Belgium. This was right after he became a bad guy, betrayed Cody Rhodes, and now he had to explain to the world why he did it. And the reason why he did it was because he felt like people were not appreciative of the fact that he was winning and winning and winning and winning. Now, obviously, this is professional wrestling. This is fake fighting at best, fictional storyline.
So now you're a teenager now, I'm assuming. So that was, wow. I couldn't even watch anything like that at 3 years old. But yeah, I would assume that now you're probably 12, 10... Ooh, okay. Like, so you're like 16, I'm assuming. Like, yes, yeah, you're still young, man.
Lines and things of that nature, but it's a storyline that deals with a simulated combat sports event where you have situations and storylines that deal with stats. For example, him being a 16-time world champion and now trying to go for the 17th time fighting Cody Rhodes. Well, that's neither here or there. The point of the matter is most people don't like people that constantly win, and at some point you want to see them get knocked down. That is what's going on with Jon Jones. Another thing that is going on with Jon Jones is that, let's be honest, right? A lot of this he's brought upon himself to be very objective. Now, whether you like him or whether you hate him, we have to address these issues. There were these issues where he had in Las Vegas where he was inducted into the Hall of Fame due to his fight with Alexander Gustafsson. What happened then? He had a domestic issue going on. He ran over a pregnant lady while... Randy Orton. Yeah, I'd say Randy Orton was my favorite guy back in the days. In his car, drunk, inebriated, and things of that nature. Something that I sort of hinted and compared to Prince Nassim, which, by the way, I have a video on that you can see on this channel. Just scroll down on the video section, you'll see it. But yeah, that is what's going on here. And another thing also is that I think there is a double standard that we have for Jon Jones as opposed to, let's say, George St. Pierre. Now, what is the difference? Well, George St. Pierre, when he beat Michael Bisping, by the way, a guy who I just mentioned in this video who made one of the biggest upsets in middleweight history, right? He went in there, took Michael Bisping's title, and then vacated it right after. He was supposed to fight Robert Whittaker because Robert Whittaker was up there in the middleweight division at the time before he became the undisputed champion and before he had to unify or be in a unified fight for the interim and the undisputed title against Izzy. Well, he never fought Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker was supposed to be George St. Pierre's Tom Aspinall. Why is it that we never pushed George St. Pierre to fight Robert Whittaker the way that we're pushing Tom Aspinall right now? Well, it's really this simple. What I said to you before, people don't like when somebody is winning and winning all the time. People like it when you're coming up and you're struggling and you're in the struggle with them, but then somewhere along the lines, you get out of that struggle, you're in a different stratosphere. Yeah, Randy Orton was the man back in the days. Now people want to see you fall. That's the reality of life. Sort of like the best way to describe it. You look at young toddlers who play with blocks, right? They build it up really high only to go and knock it down. Why do they do that? Well, maybe there's some instinctual human characteristics inside of us that love seeing these types of things. But either way, what we are waiting for right now is just the announcement of when this fight is going to happen, how it's going to happen, and the circumstances of the salary, the circumstances of the prize, the circumstances of the rewards, and the incentives for both athletes. But I can tell you this right now, right? Aside from Jon Jones, Tom Aspinall also has a very interesting story going into this. Obviously, Jon Jones has the Darryl Strawberry, Dennis Rodman storyline behind him in this situation, whereas with Tom Aspinall, he has the quintessential working class British, English storyline where he's trying to make it to the top, and lo and behold, look where he's at right now, doing interviews with Piers Morgan, really pushing the issue on getting Jon Jones to fight. Now the question is when